Hello, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. If my voice is coming to you, let me know in the chat to know that we're live. This is a very special stream. I am joined by a guest here from the Little Hoot channel, Hoots herself. I'm just going to assume we're going in. Yeah, everyone's saying we're live. All right, so
Awesome. Hi.
hey, so why don't you just give everyone a quick rundown on who you are before we get into why you're here?
Hi, my name is Hoots. I'm the primary producer of the Little Hoot channel, and I'm also a co-host on the podcast Respect the Dead, where we don't.
It's good. I like an ironic title like that. And so originally this was just going to be, a whatever stream where we watch dumb stuff and laugh at it, and we'll do that a little later. But there was some news in the world of Twitter, and you were
hmm
personally and criminally had your freedom of speech taken away by Elon Musk.
That's right. Elon permabanned me himself.
Yeah, it's a hell of a thing for like him to come up and do the deed himself. So I can pull up the tweet on where it all went down so people can see what this all looked like, and maybe you can tell the story of what it was like to be silenced by Elon Musk.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, first of all, as kind of like I don't know how online your audience is. If they are on as online as me, they kind of know what the media environment is at the moment in on Twitter. But if you're not, Kaylin Conrad, who is in the chat right now, I believe, just released like a couple of days before I got suspended a really good video, kind of like breaking down the ways Twitter is has just been like a sinking ship since Elon Musk paid $44 billion for it.
Hey,
That
hold
I
on
think
a
is just like
second,
a really
please.
good primer. Oh, what's that?
Apparently my audio is all messed up. I'm very quiet,
Oh
and
no.
you were very loud. So
And
I'm
I'm blowing out. Okay.
let's just fix this for a moment, and you'll have to repeat it. How is this, everyone? Is this better? I just adjusted this, the levels. Uh, okay. It is
Hello.
Yeah. Let's just talk about nothing until we get our levels fixed here.
Am
Uh,
I super loud still?
I've been
Am
turning you
I?
down. The thing is, I've been turning down the whole desktop audio. So I'd kind of
Okay.
like to not do it that way, but
Okay. It's
much
okay.
better.
They're saying
Okay.
it sounds more balanced. Okay. Sorry about that.
All right. So
Uh
back to the story.
anyway. Anyway, if you wanted like a really good primer of like what the environment of Twitter has been like, watch Kaylin's most recent video about that. I think it's called "How to K-Word Twitter." And ironically, like 2 days after they posted that, I got permabanned. I got permanently suspended. So basically, on Tuesday night, I came home from work and I was feeling a little angry and frustrated because a week ago today, a gunman killed a bunch of people in Colorado Springs at a gay bar, and all of the like stochastic terrorists that inspired that shooting have kind of like double and tripled down, and have been posting some really disgusting things on Twitter, because they basically feel emboldened by Elon Musk's Twitter. So on Tuesday night, I just got home from work and I was feeling a little bit angry before bed. So I opened up my Bird app and I said that those people, your Matt Walsh's, your Jamie Michelle's, your libs of TikTok of the world, they should have to feel more fear. Oh, look, there it is. There's my tweet. Um, and by the time I woke up in the morning, it had kind of like kicked off a little bit. I think when I woke up, it had like 700 something retweets. And then by the mid afternoon, it was like over 1,000. So it wasn't like a viral tweet, but it was definitely a tweet that was starting to get some attention. Um, and I followed up with what I meant by saying like I think doxing these people is good. I think like making them have to change their phone numbers, because people keep calling them is good. I think protesting outside of their apartments is good. or not apartments, multi-million-dollar mansions is good. And right-wing Twitter got a hold of that. And at some point, this guy, Greg, with 100,000 subscribers, quote tweeted me and snitch tagged Elon Musk, who responded to it. Like, a bunch of people had tried flagging it, like had tried reporting me, and all of the reports were just saying, and I got emails about them, all the reports were saying, like, we investigated this account and there isn't anything wrong. If you don't like her, you can block her, basically. So I only got permabanned when Greg Price snitch tagged Elon Musk himself. Elon Musk responded yes to the snitch tag. But then I kind of like had an account for like another 20, 30 minutes. I retweeted Elon Musk a couple of times because I was feeling especially spicy. And then I sent my final tweet to Elon Musk, which was a response to his response. And I just wrote like, "Hi, boss," with a little salute emoji. And then was instantly banned.
And did you get an explanation for what it was specifically or you were banned for? Or was it just like banned?
Permanently suspended for breaking Twitter's terms of service. And that's it. Like, if I try to, so they immediately found my other account, which was always a private account. It was always on lockdown, and I had it since 2012. And that one got suspended too. On that one, I could and did file an appeal, but on the Little Hoot one, if I try to file an appeal, every time I hit like enter, it just says something went wrong. They won't even let me file an appeal. I'm just like, Little Hoot is gone.
Wow. So just erased.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at the tweets, I think the first one is that seems to be the one. At least Greg highlighted the one of you threatening people's lives, and that was like, an interesting take from Greg. And maybe we should clear the air right here. Are you planning on going on a murder spree and killing all of these people?
No, I'm way too busy for that. Like, I've got so much work to do on this Harry Potter video I'm working on.
Okay, good. Well,
I also, like, I clarify this a little bit. I made like a really fast and dirty video about what happened. And I clarify this a little bit more. Like, I think it's like, I specifically think that people like who live near them should like protest outside of their houses, like bang pots and pans, be as annoying as you can be. I think being annoying is like legitimate political activism.
It's kind of strange too, because this is sort of like a regular tactic on the right? They'll like highlight people and blow them up and make them very visible publicly, oftentimes like private citizens. And in some ways, this is like fighting back in kind.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like there's like a contradiction in in your own principles here, or is this sort of like a bed they made for themselves or something?
I think we should be able to bash back. Like, honestly, I think like we should be able to fight back, and I think that these kind of people should feel fear. They should be afraid of hitting send tweet on some of these things that they're saying. Like, they should feel fear that like if they kick a dog, that dog's gonna like bite them back, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm really screwing up my idioms here, but
yeah, don't worry about it. We do not support dog hitting here, by the way, on this channel. And
that dog has every right to bite you if you
definitely.
kick it.
It's also interesting how what they do, and this has always like been a dynamic that always kind of annoys me. It's like they make millions of people live in fear every day. Like, now people are genuinely living in fear, like being an open trans person or being gay or just anywhere in these marginalized communities they target. Their whole business is built on this idea of making these people live in fear by spreading their hatred. And I mean, if the standard is like, you shouldn't make individuals fear for their lives in their homes and whatever, and like it would be lovely if that were true, but it seems like on one side you're not just allowed to do it. You can make millions of dollars being that person.
Yeah. And I firmly believe that a good chunk of these right-wing grifters don't even like fully believe the bullshit that they sell. Am I allowed to curse on stream?
Yeah, I don't censor people. I'm not Elon Musk.
Okay. I firmly believe that some of these guys are real cowards who don't believe half the shit that they actually say. Your Tim Pools, I really don't believe that he buys any of the bullshit he says, but he knows that he can make tons of money by goading on like genuine bigots and in many cases violent bigots who pick up guns and go shoot up gay clubs.
Yeah, and he actually responded to your tweet too. He had that weird retweet
I know.
where he's like, I've got a gun, so if you come into my place, I'll
He's
shoot
such
anyone.
a little baby coward. Like, make no mistake, like Matt Walsh could legitimately kill me, I think, with his bare hands. But Tim Pool, I could definitely take. Tim Pool in a fight.
I mean, I feel like most people probably could. He seems a bit soft.
His bones look like they're made of glass.
Yeah, and I don't know. He just looks like a little boy with that little beanie on. Also, I don't know. I feel like it would be a closer fight than you realize against Matt Walsh because, I don't know, there's something about him. Like, if he didn't have that beard, he would seem much smaller, if that makes sense.
Maybe it's the beard. Yeah, it could be the beard. Somebody, I think it might be Kalen Conrad. Somebody recently sent me pictures of him without the beard. And I mean, I completely support his decision to sport that full beard now. Maybe you need it.
It's a necessity for some guys,
Which is all right, the beard is like contouring, but for mask people.
Definitely. I mean, as someone who had to grow a beard because everyone kept thinking I was underage every time I went to a bar, you got to do it sometimes.
I mean, that's a good reason to have to do it. Just like the perma baby face.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea how old you are, but when you get into your 30s and 40s, that baby face is going to serve you well.
Oh, I guess. I was over the baby face by the time I was 21, though. I was like, all right, I don't want anyone to think I'm a 15-year-old anymore. I need to put some other stuff here. We should probably, talk about your channel.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Was there more on this you wanted to say? Like, what was the fallout like? Or afterwards?
Oh, boy. A lot of, obviously, like a lot of DMs, a lot of, I did manage to see a good number of the replies to Elon's tweet before I got completely suspended. And some of them were less funny, like saying rape is a weapon in times of peace. So that's cool. And also, like, is that true? Where are you getting that from?
I feel like that's one of those truisms fascists like to spread amongst each other.
Yeah, rape is a weapon in times of peace. Where did you hear that? Also, there was one that I screenshotted because I really loved it. And I sent it to someone I was sleeping with, and I was like, I'm going to dick ride you this hard next time I see you. It's somebody responding to that Elon Musk yes. Hello, sir. I hope you are well and that everything is okay. I would like to wish you from the bottom of my heart health, first of all. Everything else you have, I want to talk and communicate with you very much because you are a very good and intelligent person. Be blessed by heart, pray hands emoji. I was like, wow. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
That's a different kind of frightening.
I also got a DM saying, as a mortician, your podcast does not respect the dead. It's like, you're so close, buddy.
I guess he's not a mortician who uses irony.
Yeah, I got like no sense of humor. I guess like for anybody who isn't already familiar with our podcast, it's called Respect the Dead. And then the tagline is the podcast where we don't, because it's a podcast talking about bad people who are no longer with us. So like every episode has got like a happy ending.
So, like, who are an examples, just quickly, of like who you'd speak about on that podcast, so people know what's up there?
Fred Phelps, Phyllis Schlafly. Coming up on Monday is an episode on Columbus. All people who have done like really horrible things and are now in their graves.
Yeah, that's it's a nice way of thinking of those people who are now no longer with us.
No longer with us.
And not
Oh yeah,
nice.
someone in chat said Henry Ford, Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, like all people. Every episode has got a happy ending.
God, and that graveyard of terrible people is huge. So I'm sure you've got so many people to go through.
Truly, and they just keep adding more to it every day.
Yeah, not quick enough in some cases. But
Truly, being evil keeps people alive for so long. So
Like-
many of these people live to like 98, and it's like, come on.
how is Henry Kissinger still alive?
Oh
That's
my
what I wanna
gosh.
know.
I called dibs on him before we even recorded our first podcast episode. I was like, it's going to happen eventually, and he's mine. It's going to be like a 6-part series. Like,
Well, I'll look forward to that one, the day and the episode. So yeah, you were getting hit pretty hard even after taking off Twitter. I guess I don't know if there would be a way to check this. Like, how long? I mean, are any of these people who have been threatening you? Have they been suspended off of Twitter?
I'm not 100% sure. The only tweets that I actually reported were there were a few people that were trying to dox me, and they were posting addresses that I'd never seen or heard of before. So I was reporting those because I didn't want somebody else to get harassed or worse on my behalf.
And just to note, Kaylin in the chat said that none of the people they reported have faced any consequences, even though they are directly threatening you. So,
Oh, funny. Yeah, because like I was getting some rape threats. Weird how Elon Musk's Twitter works that way.
yeah, presumably you need to tag Elon Musk on everything that happens, and maybe he'll do nothing.
Divorce daddy, please come help me.
Only if you're mean to women, or or trans people.
That's the secret.
Yeah.
Or trans people. If you've been bullying trans people, Daddy Musk will come help you out anytime you're in trouble.
Oh, that's just the world we live in now. It's funny because we were talking about this a little before starting. I made like a very not so hot take that Elon Musk might be creating a phone if Twitter gets booted off the Google Play and Apple App Store. He's like, maybe I'll have to make a phone. And I thought that would be very funny because people would be wasting their money and he would be wasting more of his money to make this phone. And people got upset and they were snitch tagging there too. They were like, Elon Musk, at Elon Musk, don't you think this guy doesn't know what he's talking about and stuff like that. It was just, wow.
Oh my God. They're the biggest crybaby nerds I've ever seen in my life. Like that is such a mild take. Like it's not even like offensive to him saying like I think it's actually a bad idea to do a phone. Like
yeah.
Is such a mild take. But they can't stand even the mildest criticism of their God King Elon. Like it's crazy. Who are these people?
I don't know, but they make me first I start laughing at them, then I start feeling sad like this is what it's come to in your life, isn't it? You're now defending one of the richest men on the planet. And then I think about like then I read their messages and it kind of gets funny again because just this is how they spend their day. They are like name searching Elon Musk and tagging him anytime someone criticizes them.
It's like it's so weird. And I saw some of this stuff just yesterday about how Apple and Google might take Twitter off of their app stores. That's a big might though, and it's like everybody who like dick rides for Elon says that it's like because they hate free speech and all this shit. It's not. It comes down to money. It's because he doesn't want to give them a cut of these subscription services for Twitter Blue. And they're like, well, if you're not going to give us a cut, we're not going to put you in the App Store, which is just like how this shit works.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of just the business world, and he doesn't want the rules to apply to him on this space. So
So instead, he's like, I'm going to create an entirely new phone and make everybody go buy that. And then also subscribe to Twitter Blue and pay me money per month.
and it
And
was
I
funny.
guess like some people will do it.
Yeah, and it's oh wow, some of them will. Not as many as he probably hopes. I mean, I've heard the estimates for like Twitter Blue are making him like an extra couple million a month or something. Like it's been
Oof.
underwhelming
Oof.
considering he has to pay like $1 billion in a year in interest on the loans he took. So
Oh my God.
yeah,
Oh
not
God.
a genius
He's so bad
businessman.
at this. He's so bad at business. Well, I can't wait to read all the stories about Musk phones blowing up in people's faces.
Oh yeah, perfectly. When you sync it with the Tesla, they blow up together. It's very convenient. You can take out an entire
Oh, that's
family
cute.
that way.
I love that.
Yeah, synergy. Right. Let's talk about your channel now, because actually
Okay.
I should remind people who are like, do I know this voice from somewhere? If you've not seen the Little Hoot channel, first of all, check that out. But also, we did a collab a couple of months ago. I realized I
We
should have mentioned
did.
that, and because that's maybe where people remember you from. I was doing
It,
a video on a show called Frasier, and you did as well. We had very different takes. Uh,
we did.
but that's the beauty
But
of
that's
art.
okay.
Yeah,
That's okay. Like it's like I kind of felt like it was very like fair and balanced in that way, you know? Two
yeah,
sides of the same coin, two different like left-leaning people analyzing TV show through two different lenses.
exactly. And in some ways, I sometimes worry when I put out a video that people will think, okay, this is the authoritative take on this show. This is how everyone should understand it. And I'm like, no, this is A, mine, and B, I hope serves as like a platform to people make up their own minds about these shows. Like, I love seeing comments when people are like, oh, I don't think this show is as good as you thought, or it's like, this is way better than you were saying, because
Yeah.
it's art. We're all allowed to have our own opinions on it. And someone just mentioned in the chat, it's the free marketplace of ideas, everyone.
Oh my gosh, free marketplace of ideas.
All right.
But yeah, that Frasier video is like one of the videos on my channel specifically that I'm most proud of. Like, I think I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Neil Farrell from The Liberal Cook, or actually now The Leftist Cooks, uh, also like contributed a lot to the script and edited it and stuff.
Yeah, you were both heavily featured in the video too, and I think you both did a
Hmm.
great job. It was a really good video, and it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I'm glad this is in some way associated with my channel, because it's like
Yeah.
it's nice when we can all help each other out. Although speaking of channels, your channel, why don't you give us all about that? Like, how did you get into this weird YouTube space?
Oh gosh, how did I get in? I think I released one video back in like 2019, beginning of 2019, and then like didn't do anything for more than a year. And then the pandemic happened and we were all bored and inside. So I started making videos again. Um only a few in 2020, and then in 2021 I got eyeball zoned on Thought Slime's channel with kind of like mini doc that I made about like the AIDS crisis, or the origins of the AIDS crisis. And since then, I've been trucking along, making videos about historical topics and media criticism. In this coming year, in 2023, I think I'm ironically like just before I got permabanned from Twitter, I was already planning on doing like a little bit of a channel rebrand, and I think I'm going to mostly stick to uh, like media criticism and then for historical stuff in a video that I collabed on with Kaylin Conrad about the groomer panic. We created this like fake series called Folk Devils. That's like a ripoff of Unsolved Mysteries, but with history stuff. So I think I'm going to turn that into an actual like playlist on my channel, and then regularly do like shorter form, like 15 to 20 minute episodes of Folk Devils about historical topics, and keep that character going for a little bit. So yeah, I plan on like doing a little bit of a relaunch towards the end of this year.
That sounds like a really cool idea, and very
Yeah.
unlike some of the stuff I'm seeing in the space, which I think is always a wonderful when we can add new stuff, you know?
Totally. Totally. I wanted to bring a little bit more focus to my channel because as you can kind of see, like looking at all the thumbnails right now, I'm a little bit all over the map. I kind of just like whatever I'm feeling particularly passionate about that week, I'll write a script and I'll film a video for.
I think that's a really good way of starting a channel though, because it'll help you like explore different topics and find what works best for you.
Totally.
Take that as advice, anyone who wants to start a YouTube channel. Experiment while you're small and still can, and then as you get bigger, you can like focus in on like the cool stuff you really like doing.
1000% agreed. I was having a similar conversation to this several months ago with Neil and Sarah of the Leftist Cooks, and they were bringing up like what a joy that is as well, like getting to just like do whatever you want because you don't have to feel compelled by the algorithm when you're still very small. Whereas now their channel's gotten much bigger and they definitely have started to curate what they're doing content about more. And same with me, like I just crossed the 10K mark earlier this month. So now I'm like, okay, now I have to start thinking about what I need to do to like get to like 20K and 30 and 40. So I'm going to start like kind of curating my content a little bit more.
Yeah, you're just getting to that bigger YouTube channel status, or
That
just
tipping point.
yeah, where it's like the the innocent days of small YouTuber behind you, and now you're getting serious. Was you
Gotta
were
get
you,
in serious
did
mode
you
in
ever like
2023.
did you ever expect to get to this point though, or was this just like
Um,
started as like a hobby?
It definitely started as a hobby. After I got eyeball zoned, I was hoping to get to a little bit higher. But I have to be honest, like the first what, like 3,000 subscribers came like instantly. And then after that, like I remember around this time last year, it was like I was like crawling to 5K. And then I hit 10K earlier this month, and I'm possibly going to hit 12K before the end of the month. So like it's just like hit like another small boost. So that's another thing to like small people who are considering doing YouTube as well and think you might want to like do it as a job. Don't get frustrated when you hit periods where it like slows down a lot, because all it takes is like one video that kind of gets some attention, and suddenly like your subscribers will blow up for a little while, and then it'll slow down again.
Yeah, I can confirm that's exactly what happens, especially when you're starting out. You'll find
Yeah.
that one video that just like pops off, and then just got to keep going, because eventually if you keep producing content that's good, hopefully it'll catch on.
Totally.
Okay. Sorry. I feel like we should mention, go subscribe to Little Hoot's channel. It's Little
Please
Hoot.
do.
That was part
Please
of
do,
why I wanted
and
you
you
on here.
can you can watch my video about Elon perma-banning me.
Oh yeah, it goes into much greater detail, including like various specifics we didn't really get into here. It's a trip, and you got it out so quickly. I know you had some help with that.
I did. Kaylin Conrad edited it all. I had help with the script from Kaylin and Marina Dove. My script was basically just like bullet points. But yeah, I had a lot of help with it. I kind of felt like the George Bailey of Thanksgiving, because I woke up on Thanksgiving morning and I had like 100 notifications on WhatsApp and everybody was like pulling together to help.
This project lift up Hoots, I guess. We'll teach this bird to fly once more.
That's right. My little injured wing, my little Hoot wing.
And for that matter, like, check out Kaylin Conrad's channel as well, because that's also a really good channel. And
One
they
of the
do
best
awesome work.
Yeah.
Truly.
Every video is like better than the last. It's so great. And check out the 2-hour documentary that Kaylin and I produced on the groomer panic for like a good background on who all these people are.
Yeah, there you go. And you can get a little more about Elon Musk's Twitter in their most recent video. And of course, the What is a Groomer?
Yeah.
Wow, that's doing really well. Also a banger.
That one's really popping off. That one is actually, it looks like it's slated to overtake Matt Walsh's video on like what is a groomer. So please get us more views than Matt Walsh's video so that ours is like the first one that comes up when some teenager is looking up what is a groomer. We want them to get our video and not some homophobe's video.
Where is his video? I want to see what the numbers are on that. I don't see it anywhere.
Oh, I know when you look up like what is a groomer, there's a Matt Walsh video that comes up, I think,
Okay.
and then ours.
Oh yeah, wait, is it leftist triggered about the term groomer?
Yes.
Ooh, you're only 5K. You're gonna pull ahead.
We're gonna pull ahead. His was
Yeah.
released 7 months ago. Get us there, chat.
Okay, everyone go watch it about 5,000 times and you'll pull ahead.
Please do. Just like put it on repeat, mute your computer and go to work.
Yeah, we need to push these people out of the algorithms and God, all these people are like, Matt Walsh is one of those guys who's like so manufactured by the Daily Wire. Like this guy is a nothing, but they just pumped so much money into giving him a presence online, and eventually just caught on because he just needed to know which like bigoted button to press, and now he's the anti-trans guy.
God, I hate him so much.
He's not a good guy.
No, he sucks so hard. They're so like joyless. Oh, so did you see that there was like that Antifa list on Twitter as well?
Oh yeah, there were 5,000 accounts. I did not make the cut, which is okay.
That's so disappointing.
It's a way to find out I'm not an Antifa. Thanks. But yeah, it was a list of 5,000 accounts that are being targeted to be mass reported by various 4chan trolls.
Yes. And on that list were accounts like Gators Daily that just like posts pictures of alligators every day and wholesome memes. Like these people are just like so anti-joy. Like it's so revealing. They're suspicious of anything that is just like happy and joyful. That they call Gators Daily and wholesome memes Antifa.
Yeah, that's just wild. Although I saw some interesting tweets that explain how this is in some ways a technique to get people to protect or hide their accounts as well. So, I think part of it is just not hiding from these people. Even though sadly people are still getting flagged and still getting booted off of Twitter.
I see. So it's just trying to get them to go private.
Yeah.
Why would you want Gators Daily to go private? I love that account.
No more joy. That's the lesson.
No more
here.
Joy. That's it. It's just like
you have to follow like Trad Wife's Daily or something like that instead.
and they're always yelling something about trans women in bathrooms. It's just like sometimes I just want to see a cute little gator going down a water slide.
Of course. I feel like all of us need that in our days. That would make everyone happier.
Right?
Well, we were talking about Matt Walsh briefly, and the original plan was to watch a lot of terrible content. And if you're willing to stick around for a couple of these videos,
Absolutely.
okay.
This is going to be the first time I've dunked on some chuds. I'm ready for my dunking on chuds arc.
So this is going to be a little weird because I need to set this one up a little bit. Because
Okay.
it was either 2 or 3 streams ago, I did a research stream for a video I worked on looking at the Daily Wire and that movie they had that came out, Terror on the Prairie. And it ended up being a deep look at like their various business practices and all their horrible stuff. But part of the research stream had me watching this like endless, I don't even know what to call it. Let's see if I can find it. It was like backstage live, whatever. I should have this link ready. Yes, live at the Ryman, where they were at this theater, and like they had Jordan Peterson there, and they were like launching Daily Wire Plus, and it just went on. We're not watching this, don't worry about that. But this is just to set it up. I'm not going to make you watch 3.5 hours of this crap.
I heard Jordan Peterson and I was like, no.
I think he shows up in the video we're going to see, but very briefly. But basically, Daily Wire's dumb like streaming service was being launched, and they were like saying, "Look at all these cool new like programs and stuff. Don't you want to like subscribe?" And the big announcement was they got Jordan Peterson to like make some garbage for them. And going through this going through this like event on stream was pretty rough. We saw things like Dennis Prager show up to defend marital rape. That's a thing that happened.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Apparently an article he wrote 10 years ago saying, you shouldn't let your wife's mood dictate whether or not you have sex, which is, by the way, for the record, he's been married 3 times.
Yikes.
Make that what you...
Oh my God. Yes, you should let your wife's mood determine whether or not you have sex. Like, I can't believe this is an argument somebody's even making.
Yeah, and it's kind of... He kind of owned himself in one of the articles, though, which was very funny because he was like, if you let a woman decide, they probably wouldn't be into sex like even once a month. I'm like, dude.
Oh, Dennis. Dennis outing himself as bad at sex.
Yeah, it's like maybe the problem's not all women. Maybe the problem is the other side of the equation there. But
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's very generous of them to want to have sex with Dennis Prager ever. And he should be grateful. But yeah, so that's what this was all about. It was designed to like puff up the Daily Wire Plus as a service to make it seem like it's a big deal with their, I think they announced they had 890,000 subscribers or something like that. Yeah, it's a lot of people paying every month. And it looked like a big deal because it was at this like arena. Let's just get not an arena, a theater. And you can see like, let's get a shot of the audience here. And you can see there's like, I guess you will see on the stream as it pops up. But there's a lot of people there. It's mostly staff at the Daily Wire, not actual paying people. They did rent out a theater. And you might be wondering like, what happened to this thing they were doing like some months later? Is it a big success, their big push for content? And I'm just gonna, you can kind of tell right from the get-go, and I'm gonna give you a link so you'll be able to watch this, but I'll send it to you on the Discord. Oh no, that music playing. Sorry about that, everyone. I tell I've never done this before, but
It's all right. Neither have I. We're both learning together.
It's all a journey.
That's right.
There's a link for you, and hopefully this will work.
Thank you.
I'll give myself a cool nickname. Yeah.
Okay.
So are you in?
I am in.
Okay.
Said like a hacker. I'm in.
So as you and everyone else will be able to tell, it's a much smaller venue. Significantly smaller.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know what this is. It looks like they repurposed the cafeteria.
Yeah. Ooh, that is a conference room.
And this is going to be us checking in on the Daily Wire Plus, formerly in big uh, halls, I guess, theaters, now reduced to this.
Oof.
I've watched exactly 2 minutes of this, and it is 2 minutes of gold. I'm hoping it's not going to be 37 minutes of nothing, but that gold will, I hope, make it worthwhile. And we're just going to go
Gold
through
is front
this.
loaded.
I don't know. It's not even front loaded. It's buried somewhere in there. But as we go through this, feel free to like pause it or jump in. I think you can control it from your end. And
Okay, great.
if you have any questions, I can fill those in. So everyone's on the same page here. All right, so let's start. So this guy is Jeremy Boring. His
Wait,
name.
his name is Boring?
Yes, his name is Boring.
Change it, bestie. That's a thing they let you do now.
One of my favorite Jeremy Boring stories is he started the Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro, and they were like, we were just these little startups. We were operating out of my pool house's garage. And I'm like,
My pool house's garage. Oh, I'll give it up for the little guys starting their media empires from their pool house's garage.
truly.
On only a few $1,000,000.
Oh yeah, he's really starting from the bottom here. And someone noticed that volume slider did nothing at all. So maybe we should like move past this thunderous applause to get to Jeremy's talk.
For being here. We haven't done one of these in a little bit. In fact, it's been 4 months since the last time that we were together. And a lot has changed in that period of time, not just in the company, but in the country too. So it's good that we get together. The purpose of our town halls, as you know, is both to celebrate and inform. The company's gotten so big, one of the kind of unfortunate consequences of that growth is that people who are working really hard in one part of the company don't know what people who are working really hard in another part of the company are actually doing. And so it's good that
Okay, his name is actually so perfect that like if you pitched that in a writer's room, people would be like, it's too on the nose.
Yeah. And then you have
Boring.
like you have this guy show up to talk and you're like, whoa, he is Jeremy Boring though.
This monotonous nerd with a key around his neck.
Yeah, what
every now
is
and
that
then
thing?
we get together.
What is that thing? Why does he like? Did your mom give that to you because she's gonna be at work when you get off of school? Like,
I can only hope. So he doesn't get locked out when he needs to get back to the pool house. Well, that'd be great if it wasn't even his pool house. It was like his parents' pool house.
his mom's pool house. Oh no, Jeremy. Latchkey adult.
Yeah. Okay, let's. I think he's with us for this whole thing too, but hopefully he'll bring other people on to like just cut into this.
So we can sync up, so that we can reorient ourselves, so that we can all be pointed at the same North Star. And that North Star is working toward a future for conservatives and a future for our country.
For our
Also, since we started
country?
doing these events back in the
guess.
beginning of the year, we've made it a practice.
I think he's got an echo too, or is that me? Or do you hear
think-
the echo?
I don't hear an echo. I hear the room a little bit that he's in.
Just always
Is
invite
it-
in the audience.
It's definitely an echo. Maybe it's me.
Okay, maybe it's my headphones
Oh.
being too loud or something.
Oh yeah, that might be it.
So I can turn them down internally. Me blasting, like killing my ears listening to Jeremy Boring.
Okay. Let me know. Well, you can hit play when you're ready, and we'll get back to this.
All right. Where is sound? Sound.
I do like this face he's making. This like, what are we doing?
Eh. Okay. Output volume. Oh yeah, it's very loud. Let me turn that right down.
We're getting board blasted.
Okay.
here.
That might be a little bit too far down. All right, let's try to play to see what's going on.
Okay.
The audience. to live stream them. The reason is because,
Is that better?
as much as we're working hard every day,
I'm still getting it a little bit.
Weird.
Are you wearing headphones?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really weird. It shouldn't be picking up on your mic.
Wait, output. Yeah, and it's like less than half now.
Okay.
What's going on?
It might just be the original. Like, yeah, how about we mute you
It
for
might
a
just.
second?
Are you getting feedback of yourself?
Hold on. I'm just going to mute you for like half a second here.
Okay.
And we'll see if this still works.
to create that future for conservatives.
Okay, it's the audio. It's not you.
Oh my God.
It's just them. Oh.
It's just their terrible audio.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Get it together, Daily Wire. This is why they're broadcasting
Jeremy,
out of
oh my
like
God.
this whatever conference room instead of a theater.
Are
Okay.
like your 800,000 subscribers or whatever paying $15 a month for this trash?
Hey, they announced it was up to 950,000 subscribers in July. That's one thing I want people to be aware of. They said 950,000 in July. We are now 4 months later, and they're going to give us an update. Oh no,
my
wait, it's right there in the
gosh.
title. It surpasses 1 million subscribers.
It surpasses a million.
They got 50,000
I mean,
in 4
considering-
months.
Doesn't their like YouTube channel only have like 2 million or something? That's actually a lot. A lot of people willing to pay for Daily Wire.
I know, it's kind of suspicious almost. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I was looking at some
Is there a
interviews,
free trial period like 6 months?
oh, maybe that's it. They're counting like free trial people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But part of it is like when this guy was being interviewed ahead of their big Daily Wire Plus push, he was like saying, this year we're on track to make $100 million. And then in an interview like 2 months later, he's like, our projections are now $150 million. And then 2 months later, it's like, we're up to $200 million this year. We're on track to do it. And it's
Oh my
like,
gosh.
it sounds so suspicious.
It does. It sounds like a scam.
But you pay money and you get exclusives from Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro. Like, where else are you going to get the Ben Shapiro book club? Which is a real thing, by the way.
I will start a Ben Shapiro book club because Ben Shapiro is a delightfully terrible writer.
Oh, yeah. If only we could get him to write more books. Stop writing,
Oh,
his
gosh,
stupid,
yes.
whatever. The left is crazy now. Just give us your fiction, Ben, please. Okay. Let's keep it going.
Conservatives, as much as we're working hard every day, our audience is also a part of this journey, and in particular, our Daily Wire Plus members. They're working alongside us every day, and they deserve some transparency so they can see what we're doing, so they can keep track, so they can make sure that we're still aligned with them. So the last time we were together, it was at the Ryman Auditorium, and we were fresh on the heels of the most successful launch in the history of the company, Matt Walsh's masterpiece documentary, What is a Woman?
Oh, come on. Don't applaud that.
Their paychecks depend on it. Okay.
It's true. Every single person here works in IT at the Daily Wire.
Yeah. And they still couldn't get the audio to work right. Someone did ask in the chat, the echo is on their end, not ours. Can't really fix that. And I am here talking with the wonderful Little Hoot Hoots from the Little Hoot channel. If you hear a voice, that isn't mine.
Hi,
It
guys.
is hers.
That's me.
Okay. We're going through this pretty slow, so
That night, we launched Daily Wire Plus. We announced that we were expanding our partnership with PragerU, and we kicked off our collaboration with the premier public intellectual of our time, Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. It was a huge night. We set incredibly ambitious goals, and we made a lot of promises to the audience regarding new premium content. And so the first question that we have to ask today is, Have we made good on that promise? How have we fared? I think people are going to be pleased. That expanded partnership with PragerU that we announced in June is only 2 weeks away from launching. Beginning in December, we'll be premiering the first of 3 episodes of the PragerU Masters program with Dennis.
The key?
I have to know what the key is. Yeah, the key around his neck. Like, why is he wearing that? Like, even if you need it, like, did you not have like a stage manager who was like, hey, take that off before you go on camera? Like, there's a big ugly key on your neck. Put a tie over it. Put the key in your pocket. Good God, you're an adult.
There's something about this guy and not wearing ties. Like, he's appeared on camera before wearing a suit, jacket, and a nice shirt, and he'll usually wear like a bolo tie or something like that. Even though he's got like the least Texan accent I've ever heard in my life. I don't know why it's a key this time though.
He's just such a maverick. He's just trying to project maverick. He doesn't need a tie. But take off the key. Oh my God.
Yeah, you should like do one of those like oh God, what were they called? Like those tech billionaire bros who were just, they don't even wear a jacket. They just come in with a shirt and rolled up sleeves because they're just a regular guy.
Yeah, the Steve Jobs school of fashion.
Oh. Didn't work so well for Steve Jobs. Yeah.
Ooh, future episode of Respect the Dead.
Maybe. There's something to consider. Although I don't know. They're probably more evil guys than Steve Jobs, but I'm not a huge fan.
I think he's evil enough to qualify for our podcast. We've definitely done some people that have been on the line.
Yeah. Yeah. There have been choices are made, editorial choices. It's like, how are you only getting to Napoleon now, or not Napoleon, Columbus now? I was way off there.
Yeah, we had some other people to talk about first. Some of them were just petty.
Yeah. So, all right, back to this thing. Oh wait, someone is saying there wasn't an echo in like the original, which, if that is the case, I don't know what's happening here. Why it's all messed up.
Me neither. Oh, hi, the leftist cooks are here. Hello.
Oh, hey, leftist cooks. Hello. Some people might also remember them from that Frasier collab. As you were just saying earlier, Neil was a big part of that.
Neil was a huge part of it. Neil wrote a good chunk of the script and also organized it for me and edited it and was in a big chunk of it.
So yeah, while you're
Both
subscribing
Neil
to
and Sarah.
Yeah, while you're subscribing to the Little Hoot channel and Kaylin Conrad, go give the Leftist Cooks a sub as well, because why not?
Please do.
I mean, good channels need subs.
One of the most like the Leftist Cooks, if you guys haven't seen them, is like definitely one of the most like one of the channels that like most pushes the bounds of like what a video essay is. And so if you're in it for the art, definitely go see a Leftist Cook video, because some of them are kind of mind-blowing. They're like feature films.
Yeah, I'm glad people are like taking that chance to explore like the artistic possibilities of YouTube.
Definitely, me too.
It's a very cool medium and space, and yeah, they're doing a great job exploring it. And yeah, everyone who's saying you subbed in the comments, you are doing the right thing and just listening to us. And
awesome.
Let's move a little forward on this thing we're watching. We're still only two. Oh man,
the DW Masters program.
Okay.
Oh my God, will I have an MFA after this?
Yeah. Well, you get an MA in something. Oh.
This Prager, and it is exceptional. The core idea that animates PragerU is this: give us 5 minutes, we'll give you a semester. Today, with 500 5-minute videos and more than 1.4 billion views just this year, you can only conclude that PragerU has made good on that mission.
That doesn't make sense at all.
What?
Like,
no, you can't.
They've made lots of videos, so therefore it must be like going to university.
The PragerU Masters program, we're offering Daily Wire Plus members the exclusive opportunity to dive even deeper. Dennis Prager will guide us through extended explorations of some of the most important topics in the world. Many people in this room have been involved in the effort.
And why it's okay. God, he's such a monster.
Others of us haven't even had the chance to see any part of this powerful new work. Happily today, it's my honor to present for the first time, the first glimpse of the first episode of the PragerU Masters program.
You can learn wisdom. I'll give you just a few examples of stuff that
They could have done that. They could have done another take.
Yeah, Dennis, come on. Like, you're a public figure. You're a media figure. Do a second take. Good Lord.
And why would they open with that too? It's like, here's a taste of this highly owned content where he just like, we're gonna, Dennis Prager's talking here.
Dennis! Like, there's a lot that I will say Dennis Prager doesn't know, but Dennis Prager, you should know how to appear on camera. You do it for a job.
Well, considering what he said at the last one and continues to say throughout his career, maybe there are a few things he could stand to learn. Although I've seen a clip of his radio show and it's like watching paint dry. He's like, he talks like this and has no real inflection, really? And then just says some really outrageous, heinous stuff.
I was about to ask, how did these people get this successful? And then I remembered, financing from oil companies. Like,
I gotta say,
that's literally it.
I don't think they're getting their money's worth. I feel like they could do better.
I don't. Like, buy them some media training. Good God.
Or just buy a new person. Like, I think.
Just buy a new person.
You don't need like the raw electric magnetism of Dennis Prager.
Not this snowy thumb.
of stuff that I learned when I was about 8 years old. So here's an example. There's a very famous aphorism in Hebrew, and it is from the Talmud, the second holiest work in Judaism after the Bible. Ezehu Hagibor, who is the strong man, Hakovesh et Yitzcho, the man who conquers his own urge. I learned that at 8.
No fap! He's doing a no fap.
Wow, straight to the heart of it there.
We're almost to the end of No Fap November, everyone. I hope you're excited to finish conquering your own urges.
Well, I have a suspicion that Dennis is not quite winning that battle anymore. But that's what a thing to open your thing off. It's like the first thing you need to learn at this university is you got to stop jerking off.
I love it. I love it so much. Conquer your own urges. In the original Hebrew, of course.
Well, yeah, it's a lot classier in the original Hebrew.
That the strongest I could be is to conquer my own appetites and urges and instincts. So I learned a very big deal that kids in...
Also, the audio is out of sync, you might have noticed.
Yes, it is. Which, again, like, there's so much money going into this. Where is it going? Like...
Religious schools learn, and kids in secular schools virtually never learn. And here it goes. I learned that the biggest problem in Dennis Prager's life is Dennis Prager.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No.
The PragerU Masters program with Dennis Prager. It's going to bring...
Okay, let's skip the applause. But yeah, right on.
Like, yeah, right on. You're a bad person, Dennis.
Yeah.
You should try to be better. You're a bad person who also, like, apparently spends a lot of time thinking about masturbating.
Far too much, to be honest.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
It's Daddy Peterson.
I mean, if Dennis...
Jordan Peterson's Sorry.
I'm just thinking this is like a family, right? Dennis
Jordan
Prager's the
Peterson's
crazy grandpa. Jordan Peterson's your daddy.
The daddy, yeah. Jordan Peterson's post coma arc has been particularly frustrating to me, because as funny as it is that he's like always crying over everything, he just like he makes even less sense now. He's just like that guy that you get trapped talking to at a party who's like just a little bit too cross-faded and is like just like talking at you while you're like holding, a clammy half-empty drink.
Yeah.
He's so frustrating.
And you're just wondering, how did I end up at this party? How can I get the hell away from this man?
Please, somebody have an emergency so I can leave.
Just like pretend someone is waving at you and it's like, oh, sorry, I gotta talk to them. And then whoever you go to, just
sorry,
be like,
I just got a
"Please
call. Everyone in my family died. I have to go forever."
Yeah. And if you follow me, you could be next. So I really gotta get the hell out of here.
Not only would Jordan be joining Daily Wire Plus, not only would we be helping him to grow the quality of his already excellent podcast, but we would be creating premium content that no one had ever seen before exclusively for Daily Wire Plus members. And that's exactly what we've done. On launch, we premiered Dragons, Monsters, and Men, Dr. Peterson's essential advice for young men trying to navigate the treacherous waters of, well, becoming men. Since then, many in this room have been hard at work building the foundation of what is going to become the greatest collection of original content Jordan Peterson has ever produced. Last week, we launched On Marriage, a three-part explanation of the exploration of the foundational unit of government in the world, the union between husbands and wives.
What does that mean? The foundational unit of government?
Yeah, what does that mean? Every government has a mommy and a daddy.
Yeah.
Has a wife and a husband.
And when they really love each other, they kiss, and the next morning, a little baby government is brought by the government store.
When one wing of the government and another wing of the government love each other very much. Is this how a bill is made? I never watched Schoolhouse Rock.
I don't know. Maybe that's like a little too edgy for the Daily Wire, though. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, like, I think Jordan Peterson doing like a documentary on like how much he loves his wife and how cool marriage is like fine. But the way this guy describes it is so weird. So I know that the actual content of this is not fine. It's going to go to some weird places.
So this, just flashing back to that press conference they did last time, one of the things they did towards the end was have like a Q&A, and someone asked the panel for like marriage advice. That's where we got the creepy Dennis Prager thing. But everyone else mostly had like fine, like advice that was solid for a relationship. Like, don't try and treat everything like a competition, or remember, think of it as a partnership where you support each other. And like, it was pretty fine. But when it got to Jordan Peterson, his advice, I remember not being terrible. It was just wrapped up in 7 layers of bullshit where I didn't know what he was talking about by the end of it. And it was just like, be honest with your wife or something.
It's like he's just perpetually high.
I assume so. He must be on something.
I've never been able to follow this man's like train of logic.
He's very bad at staying on topic. And you know what? Let's get through this part quickly.
It's the relationship that undergirds all of society. Next week, we're going to launch not just one, but 2 essential new specials from Dr. Peterson. The first one is called Logos and Literacy. It's a documentary exploring the crucial work of the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably thought that the Museum of the Bible was just a roadshow attraction meant to extract cash from American evangelicals. but you would be wrong. Dr.
even know what
Peterson's
that
deep
is.
dive into this incredible institution reveals so much about the important work that they do and about the vital role that the Bible has played, not just for Christians, not just for Jews, not just in the history of Western civilization, but in the history of human civilization.
You might ask why I would be concerned with bringing the history of the Bible to a more popular audience. We inevitably and must see the world through the lens of a story. A story is a description of the implicit structure through which we view the world and prioritize our perceptions and determine how to act. Now, because you can act in a very large variety of ways, that plethora of possibility has to be limited and focused. It has to come to a point. It has to have a destination. It has to have a moral. It has to have an ethic. And what a story is a description of an ethic of potential and action
I feel like these images are just
prioritization.
making everything harder to follow.
Peace is dependent upon us being brought together under the
Truly.
rubric.
I'm not, like, all of this is just noise to me.
I mean, like, oh God. It sounded like he was starting by saying, like, everything, like, even histories have to have, like, a like, narrative framework, which I don't necessarily disagree with, and then it's just, it spiraled off into something. I'm very confused. And all of the stock footage that has been edited in isn't helping me at all. Like a girl running backwards through a field of grass. Like what does that mean? What are we talking about here? Jordan.
I feel like we're just getting vibes. It's like the vibe of something
Just
deep.
vibes. Epic vibes.
How
This
long?
is the kind of like montage that I would edit into a video if I was like trying to do a parody of like an epic moment or something.
Yeah. Truly the beginning of the majesty of passion and understanding of the world.
Evert A. Love says JP speaking gives me motion sickness. That's exactly it. Like I get a headache every time I try to follow what he's saying.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, when it starts off, you sort of get it. And it was frustrating because when he started this one off, he was like saying, you know, the thing, well, you mentioned it earlier, like, you know, the life, the story, you see it. And like, that's like some basic psych stuff. Reality is a story you tell yourself is how I was taught it, at least when I was in school. So like,
Yeah.
he could have just said that, but he had to be like, tie in all this weird stuff into history and make it sound so much grander than it is. And it seems less about making you understand the material and more about showing off how he's a very smart boy for knowing this stuff and very thoughtful and deepful.
He's deep. Yeah, deep with a capital D, TMR, little C with a circle around it.
It's his brand.
Of a single centralizing narrative.
Why the
much
page
of
running
which is
backwards?
reflected in
Animals.
the meta-narrative
Okay.
that the biblical library constitutes. So I hope you enjoy this tour through the history of the world's most significant book.
The second premium series coming from Dr. Peterson just next week. Well, it's so unbelievable, I actually don't even know how to tell you about it. So instead,
Wow,
I'm
he
just
sounds
going
excited.
to offer you the world premiere of the trailer for Exodus.
Oh, this is the one that just came
In
out,
the
right?
beginning, God
Another Bible
created
one?
the heavens and the earth.
Another Bible one. His most viewed
Turns out that
series
a
of all
book is more
time.
durable than,
Oh, wow.
than stone. It's more durable than a castle. It's more durable than an empire. You don't get away with anything. And so you might think you can bend the fabric of reality and that you can treat people instrumentally and that you can bow to the tyrant and violate your conscience without cost. You will pay the piper. It's going to call you out of that slavery into freedom, even if that pulls you into the desert.
What is he talking about?
God is ethic-centered, not ethnic-centered.
Oh, God.
Well, do you want the Pharaoh on your side or do you want God on your side? That's kind of the question.
16-part series.
God.
No, that's too many parts.
With the Israelites is the contrast
many
to
parts.
Pharaoh, right? Like under no terms will you go, and the Israelites had to say,
This is so intense.
we will go under any
This is
terms.
such
And we're going to see
big
that there's
music.
I do
something
like
else going on.
I like the
here
artwork
that is
behind
far
Jordan.
more cosmic
The inky
and
cloud,
deeper
it's
than
great.
what you can imagine.
The highest ethical spirit to which we're beholden is presented precisely as that spirit that allies itself with the cause of freedom against tyranny. And
Yes,
there is that
exactly.
hope.
I want villains to get punished.
Do you want the
Yes,
villains to burn Before
exactly.
they have to pay the ultimate price?
That's such a Christian question.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they didn't at least try to get like one person of color and one woman to like avoid being a stereotype, but it
There's
really
no-
was just like a round table of old white guys talking shit at each other and agreeing. Good Lord, a 16-part series.
There is a lot
Any
to say.
multi-part series shouldn't be any longer than 10.
Yeah, and I mean, I would understand if this was like a show, but it's literally just these guys sitting around a table talking about Exodus for however long these parts are, 16 times.
Oh my God. It looks so boring. It looks so boring. It looks so, like borderline unwatchable.
I kind of hope they move on to the next book of the Bible, the one where they just talk about how to assemble a tabernacle and counting all the people who are in each tribe of Israel. That would make, I mean,
In
you
this
probably need 20 parts.
27-part
Yeah.
series. Oh God. Okay, play more.
A 16-part series. It's the deepest, richest special Dr. Peterson has ever created. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this thing is going to change lives. I'm so proud that we're able to offer this content at Daily Wire Plus. And I'm
gonna
so
make
proud of
everyone
everyone in this room
$15
who was
a
a
month
part of creating
poorer.
not just this
That's
content,
that's a
but this
change.
opportunity for us to continue to do
For a
good, both for our
podcast.
business and for the world. Thank you. Well financially while doing
skipping
good for
past
the
this
world,
applause.
but that we must do well financially in order to do good for the world. That it's only by
true.
unlocking the
The only
nearly
way you can up the world is
unlimited
by making money
potential,
first.
the unlimited power of marketing,
It's effective
that we
altruism.
can actually
Sure.
change the world and create the change in our world that we want to see. Beyond these specials, this team has also released unbelievable new content from the core Daily Wire Plus hosts. The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, George Floyd and the Rise of BLM from Candace Owens, is already the second most successful launch in the history of our company.
Does that say the greatest lie ever told?
Yep. So I have to ask you
What was the lie?
something about George Floyd. Have you heard of this thing at all, this movie?
I have not.
Yeah. Well, it's their second biggest launch, so I don't know how you haven't heard of it. The first one being obviously What is a
I
Woman,
guess
which
I'm
was
just not-
everywhere.
What is a woman I have heard of? I guess I'm just like, I'm really not tapped into the Daily Wire's market. I need to pay closer attention.
Yeah, and it just is. It really puts into perspective all the other big launches they've had. Like, if they said "What is a Woman" is our biggest one ever, I'd be like, well, I believe that. I've heard of that, but their second biggest one, I guess no one noticed it. And when I was researching it, I actually saw this thing
Wow.
coming up and saw like, oh, this is coming out soon. I'll try and keep an eye out for it. And I totally missed it. It came out in October, and I hadn't even noticed. And I'm someone who would have paid attention. But
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to like hazard a guess that the reason their second biggest launch was not pushed as much as the first one, and why we haven't really heard of it, is because they really only care about Candace Owens when they're accused of being sexist and or racist, and they can be like, no, look, we got one, we have one. So I'm sure that they didn't put nearly as many resources into marketing this as they did What is a Woman?
Probably. And I mean, maybe Candace wasn't really helping herself out by defending Kanye West a couple of weeks ago. Maybe that hurt her as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is already burning up the charts and helping to challenge the toxic narratives of the radical left. Hit the unbelievable milestone of 500,000 downloads per day.
Oh my god, I feel like every time I skip forward, I'm just hitting applause.
They're clapping for everything this man says.
Okay, okay, every 10
Morning
seconds.
Wire, afternoon update.
It's a podcast.
Jeremy's razors.
He sells
Jeremy's
razors.
boring ass razors.
You know what I love about this is they got dropped by, I think it was Harry's, stopped sponsoring them because they're terrible. And they're like, we're going to make our own razors. And that's where Jeremy's razors comes from.
Is that why they all have ingrown hairs?
Yeah, what I've heard, they're like cheap razors they got manufactured in China that were just being mass produced. And then they stuck his name on it. So, yeah.
That hate you. And we committed to creating alternatives so that people could do just that. We launched Jeremy's Razors with a hilarious video with a dashing young actor. Today, I'm proud to announce that our efforts have succeeded beyond our wildest expectations. As of this week, Jeremy's Razors has sold over 100,000 razor kits and subscriptions.
That's not a lot, Bestie. That's actually not a lot when you've got, you've got 1 million subscribers.
And how many of those subscribers are people who would shave? Probably
and
quite a
also,
few.
like, how many of those sales were purchased by the Daily Wire to boost it? Like, they do this with books all the time. Like, they'll get their books on the bestseller list by, like, purchasing a bunch of them and then just, like, giving them out for free to people.
Oh, yeah. All these people in that room have been given free kits of Jeremy's razors, I'm guessing.
They
Plus
got
extras
handed
for
them on
friends.
the way in, like
Yeah.
a little gift bag.
It's like, quick, take these. We need to get it up to 100,000.
We've got so many boxes in the back. Like,
Yeah.
if you need any to give to friends for Christmas.
The alternatives are working, and we're just getting started. This
Like saying
week,
we're
our
just getting
commerce
started
team is
a
launching a
lot.
brand new Jeremy's Razors store. And we're also launching a brand new line of men's grooming
the
products,
store.
including beard care for Matt Walsh, shampoo and conditioner for Matt Walsh, body wash and soap, also for Matt Walsh. Jeremy's
The
Razors
joke
may have
is that
started as
Matt
the
Walsh
best
is
joke
the
we
only
ever
one
told,
with a
and
full
it
head of
certainly is
hair.
that.
I mean, he's got hair. Like,
Like, wait, is Matt Walsh their pretty boy?
oh, God. I mean,
That's so sad.
I think I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this on stream before, but I secretly suspect that Ben Shapiro has a heterosexual man crush on Matt Walsh. Because if you watch them interact...
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, there was this one moment when I was watching one of these things, researching for a video, and they're all very deferential to Ben because he's their cash cow. And he would go around mocking them, making fun of them for various reasons. But when he got to Matt Walsh, he'd always say something like, he'd like, and you're like a bearded James Bond. I'm like, oh, that's actually very nice, Ben. And he was very...
Yeah, and that's so embarrassing.
Yeah. And he's like, I think Ben just really likes Matt Walsh. He wants to be like his little buddy or something.
I guess, like, at the risk of saying something that could be, like, a compliment to Matt Walsh, when you're being compared to Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh probably seems pretty cool. Like, Ben Shapiro is, like, such a big nerd. Oh, God, but, like, is Matt Walsh their pretty boy? This is so sad. Like, you're a bearded James Bond?
Yeah.
So, okay, this hate, like, keeps them living to like far too old. They live to like 100 years old because the hate preserves them, but it also makes them all look like shit. Like they're so ugly.
Well, I'll give you a picture now of the Daily Wire backstage crew, and you can decide for yourself about their appearance and the relative handsomeness of each of them.
Oh, let's look at these guys.
And it'll be popping up.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, he is. Matt is their pretty boy.
Yeah.
Oof. It's
not.
It's grim.
Yeah.
It's pretty grim.
From
I will say Ben Shapiro's eyebrow game is pretty good though. Like those things are very well kempt. He's been getting those threaded.
I'm pretty sure a lot of them have a lot of money going into their appearances, which makes some of it even sadder. But yeah, a lot is going into making these guys look the best.
It really does.
So yeah, that's the competition. If there's a pretty boy, I guess it would be him.
Okay, so that's why everybody was laughing at his for Matt Walsh bit, because Matt Walsh is, I guess, the one that they're like, he spends a lot of time doing his hair and his beard. He's our James Bond. Oh God, that's so tragic.
There's a lot of tragedy that runs through the Daily Wire. It's a big part of their brand, I think. I think that's my word of the day tonight.
I almost feel sympathy for them. Almost.
Then you remember who they are.
Yeah, only two of those guys that were on screen do I have like names for. I like Ben and Matt were the only two that I recognized.
You didn't recognize Jeremy Boring? The Boar Man himself?
I mean, look at him! If you show me this guy in a different context, I will not be able to, like, my brain will not compute.
It's like
he's just like such a basic, like if I saw this guy at Trader Joe's, I would think nothing of it. I would not recognize him.
No, it's like he gives you face blindness just looking at him.
Truly. And I guess that's his best gift, because like he can go out in the world and nobody will be like, oh, that's that fucking key-wearing nerd from the Daily Wire. Let's beat him up. Like they'll just be like, that's just another guy.
Guess that's why he had his key with him at all times. He just needs to make a hasty retreat.
Become a real company with an excellent team and an enormous future. And for the conservative ladies out there, tune into the next town hall. As to our core business.
You don't have anything for us yet? I want my pink razors, damn it.
What would be the feminine version of Jeremy?
Razors.
The feminine Jeremy? I don't know what that is.
Jerome? I don't know. Jeremy with an IE.
Sure.
Business. All of this excellent new content that you're producing is realizing and bearing fruit all the time. As of today, Daily Wire Plus generates over 80 million podcast downloads every single month. That makes us the #5 podcast publisher in the world, according to Podtrac.
I don't know what Podtrac is, but
over 2.3 billion times.
That's too many podcast downloads
That we have sapped out of.
Yeah.
And this month, for the first time
ever,
ever,
picture of Ben where he still had the beard, I guess. Didn't really work for him, but
it's so jarring. It's so jarring looking at the beard. Like I get what he's doing, but he still looks like a 12-year-old, like, but now with like a beard spirit glued to his face. Which again,
Plus.
like, I think he should support that. Like I think it's good that you're pushing 40 and you still have a baby face, Ben. You're gonna love that later on, like when you get a little older.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he feels like he needs to do it to fit in with like the other guys there. You've got like Matt Walsh
It's
come in with
because
his
they've
beard.
got like, yeah, they've just got such rigid ideas of masculinity that he's like clearly very ashamed of the fact that he's a slight guy who still looks like a teenager in his late 30s. But it's like, If you didn't have such rigid ideas of masculinity, that would be your greatest strength. You still look like a 12-year-old and you're pushing 40. Like, that's so great. Your skin is moisturized. Like,
You know, in my mind, I'm actually constructing a narrative here where for the longest time, Ben was trying to find an excuse not to take any of those Jeremy's razors home. Where Jeremy's like, we got some of these razors for you, Ben. And he's like, oh, I'm actually gonna grow a beard now. So you can keep those, Jeremy. But then,
yeah, because those cheap ass razors will definitely give you ingrown hairs.
Yeah. Ben clearly uses a higher caliber of razor.
Can announce that we have 1 million active subscribers.
I'm very excited about that number.
Of course, you might look at all of this success, all of this content and say, yeah, Betty, but we're still losing the country. And that's true. Last week's midterm election was a devastating moment for many of the people in this room and for the values that drive the mission of our company. But as Andrew Breitbart famously observed, politics is downstream of culture. We are not a political organization. We are a cultural organization. That means that the work you're doing every single day can't be measured in a single election cycle, even though, of course, election cycles.
So that's like a big part of their branding for their...
Sorry, the greatest lie that I was ever told is not from a political organization.
Yeah, and think of what is a woman? Is that apolitical, just good old-fashioned clean entertainment?
It's cultural. Clearly, it's culture.
It's the culture you might remember from the glory days of fascist Italy or something, you know? And this is like a big part of the branding for their entertainment products. They're like, we just want to make entertainment that's for everybody, not with any sort of agenda. And
meanwhile, he was like talking about like, and ladies who want, conservative ladies who want razors, you wait a couple more months, we'll bring you something. Like, you just told the truth a few minutes ago talking about razors. You don't want to have razors that aren't conservative branded. Come on.
Yeah, it's pretty transparent of them. They like speaking out of both sides of their mouths on this one, and they're trying to like present themselves as like an alternative to the mainstream media with its left-wing bias. And I'll never forget when he was talking about like the extreme leftist agenda of like the Avengers movies, because he was like, God. They were like, a scene with Captain America was talking to some, this was like at a support group for soldiers with PTSD, and Jeremy was very upset that one of the soldiers was gay, and he's like, this is them just giving you a sucker punch. Like, you're middle America, Captain America, World War II hero, we're gonna give him a gay friend. That's not respecting your values. I'm like, why can't he have a gay friend? Or
especially a gay friend who's like former military. Like, these people have also never actually met anybody who's ever served in the military. Like,
also I'm annoyed, like, they don't even understand Captain America. He's not from middle America. He's from Brooklyn. Like, it was in the first movie.
See, I don't understand that either because I don't watch Avenger movies. But like
he did.
Honestly,
apparently not very
aren't
closely.
They supposed to be like incredibly pro-military?
Yeah, they are, like, obscenely pro-military. It's always like, oh no, the military's out of control. Oh no, wait, it was just this one bad general. Otherwise, the military's great.
One bad apple.
Yeah, that's like every other MCU movie. They had
a gay former soldier, so
he was in a scene, one whole scene. But that's too much. They need to make their own movies now to fight this woke invasion into their Avengers movies. Anyway, this is the part where they start previewing their entertainment products, so I feel like this will be a little less soul-crushing.
Those mean an awful lot. But this team is fighting a generational battle for the soul of our country.
Holy shit.
And the work you're doing is making an impact in that fight every single day. If you're concerned that that impact isn't yet enough, yeah, I agree, it isn't enough. We have to continue to do more. We have to continue to do better. We are, and we will. 1 million active subscribers makes us one of the most successful conservative media companies of all time. That's the good news. You want the bad news? It's not even a drop in the bucket compared to the media companies controlled by the left. In that world, 10 million subscribers is the bare minimum just to play the game. That's 10 times our current level.
Hit 10 million
and that's just to get your foot in the door. Disney and Netflix have 200 million subscribers each. To succeed in our effort to create a
leftist
true news and
icon, the Walt
entertainment
Disney Corporation.
Truly, I know that's what
People are so out of touch.
I always count on them to push our agendas and really brainwash people to think, maybe we shouldn't be calling in bomb threats into hospitals or something.
Antifa Mickey telling me not to bomb children's hospitals.
Hey, when Mickey Mouse goes public domain, Antifa Mickey could be a thing. Just saying.
Oh, that'd be dope. I would buy an Antifa Mickey shirt, like throwing a Molotov cocktail, wearing like a balaclava.
Especially knowing none of that money goes to Disney. Makes it even sweeter.
Mm-hmm. I just choked on my coffee.
Okay. I'm glad you got that out of the way, because there's at least one moment coming up.
I was like laughing at Antifa Mickey and drinking at the same time. It didn't work out well for me.
Alternative for the millions of Americans who are tired of the hegemony of the woke giants that want to preach radical race and gender theory to our kids, that leverage their economic might, that leverage their economic sway to change public policy away from the values that built our country, and that take for granted that we'll keep giving them.
Remember when they said this wasn't political? This was just about entertainment?
It's not political, you guys. It's not political. We just want to fight the woke giants.
Who have brainwashed everyone with their leftist agenda.
Brainwashed people with race and gender theory.
Yeah.
All of our money
I would
anyway.
love them to explain race and gender theory to me. Like, what do you mean? What do you think that means? Race theory, gender theory. What are you talking about?
I think that would be A, they would never do that, and B, they would probably be like, if you could get them to even say something, it would be like, here's an article someone wrote for like some website you've never heard of, saying that perhaps we should teach about slavery, and this is how they want to brainwash our kids. It's just completely, I don't know, they'll take one little thing, completely change what it means, and then extrapolate whatever they need from it.
Literally, like the stuff about critical race theory, every time they link, if you follow their links, it's always like, this school is just teaching, the same education that I got about the Civil War. Like, but they'll be like, but they'll frame it as they want to teach white children to be ashamed of their race. And it's like, well, no, but the Civil War was a thing that happened over slavery, and there was a racial element to that. And you can say that, like, you should say that.
Yeah, it seems like a part of teaching history, to include something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to teach it without it.
Yeah, otherwise you're just chucking propaganda at kids, which I'm guessing was what they want to do.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember one time Ben Shapiro made his comment, and I had to fact check this thing about how they were banning the American flag at some high school football game. And he's like, you can't even bring the American flag anymore. This country's going to the shits. When you look up the story, the reason they had to ban that is because when this school was playing a visiting team that was predominantly Latino, they would use that American flag to say, go back to your own country, and all sorts of really horrible shit to these kids. So they had to be like, well, we're going to have to get rid of the flags now because the kids are being super racist with them. And yeah.
So basically for the same reason that, like, when I went to high school, we couldn't wear, like, bandanas because they were like, there are certain, like, gangs in the town that, like, signal that you're a gang member by wearing a bandana. So now we're banning bandanas for everybody across the board. It's the same thing. It's just like there are some kids that are misusing this completely like neutral thing, and we have to ban them now because they're using them to threaten other children.
Yeah, that happened in my school too, actually. They banned hats, though, because people were like in hat gangs. It was weird. But yeah, it's just the same deal.
So weird. I don't think any of these gangs were actually violent. It was just like people being afraid of teenagers.
Oh yeah, whenever teens get into stuff, there's always that like group of adults who are like, oh no, my kid. They're one step away of becoming a drug dealer.
What else are we going to do? To compete with them, we have to grow 10 times, and then we have to grow 10 times again. It's an almost impossible feat. But here's the thing. Caleb and Ben and Jeremy, we are betting everything that you are up to the task. We're betting the entire company that the people in this room can change the world. We're betting that you can continue to push yourself, that you can continue to grow, that you can continue to make more and more and better content, continue to draw new talent, to draw new audience, continue to beat the odds just like you have every single day since
let's get to the actual announcements. He's just going to hype
no
stuff
one
up for a while.
thought to meet our impossibly ambitious and in production as we speak. The first one, you all know
kids.
Chipchilla.
So this is a cartoon.
Chipchilla.
Aren't they adorable?
Okay.
And
they're so cute.
I want to play a quick game with everyone here. We're gonna get a little interactive with this part. They have cast a name you've heard of, a person who has acted in movies and TV, and I want to see if we can if people can figure out who they cast to be in Chipchilla. And just to give you some kind of hint, this is a person who is conservative. They have been in mainstream movies. Their best days arguably never happened. And really, their whole career is on the basis of being friends with someone who is very successful.
Oh, friends with someone who's very... Because I was going to originally guess, Gina Carano and Kevin Sorbo.
No.
Friends with somebody really successful. Oh, gosh. I'm trying to think of celebrities who are just there for being besties. Chat is saying Rob Schneider and Adam Carolla.
Do you want to make a guess?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Rob Schneider because that's the one that's been mentioned most in chat.
Okay, we'll see how effective my hint was or wasn't.
Chipchilla is a hugely entertaining show about a family of homeschooling chinchillas. You've seen some of the early concept art at our last town hall, but many of you in this room haven't yet seen the finalized characters and sets, and I'm here to show them to you today. The first 12 episodes have already been written. The first 4 have already been voiced. They're in animation as we speak. The work being done on this show by the people in this room is on a level beyond anything we have ever brought to bear on any project in the history of the company. We couldn't be more proud of the team, and we couldn't be more proud of the art that you're creating. But what virtually no one in this room knows is that we booked our entire cast as well, including our good friend, the incredibly talented and hilarious Rob Schneider.
Yeah. Go chat.
Chat really coming through with that one.
Ooh, he looks like shit.
Yeah. It's been a rough couple of years for Rob Schneider.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. And I mean, your hint that his best days kind of never really happened is a good hint too, because he's somebody who's always been famous and has just never been a star, right?
Yeah, he has been featured in movies, but no one watched those movies.
Yeah.
And
no, not really that funny.
No, he was never good. And I think Maggie Mae Fish did a wonderful video about him and the madness of Rob Schneider. It was pretty good. He ended up blocking her on Twitter.
See that.
Because that's who he is. Oh, and thank you for becoming a member, Explosive Pop-Tart. That's a good username. But yeah.
That is a good username.
Rob Schneider.
Everyone's just dropping Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, because that's the only movie that any of us really can remember him being in. He is kind of that guy who just like pops up from time to time.
He was in The Animal and The Hot Chick. I have a friend who really hates Rob Schneider, so I purposely went out of my way to learn some Rob Schneider stuff years ago. Sadly, it's stuck. But yeah, didn't they make 2 Deuce Bigelow movies?
Oh, did they? Deuce Bigelow Deuce?
Deuce
I hope they
Bigelow
called
Deuce.
it that.
No, it's Deuce Bigelow 2 European
If they didn't
Gigolo.
call it that, they wasted their money.
You're so true. You're so right there. But yeah, someone's saying it was Deuce Bigelow 2 European Gigolo.
Oh, come on! What a waste. What a waste.
Sometimes you just gotta wonder who are these people in Hollywood who can't hit the obvious joke there. Deuce
Because
Bigelow
they
2.
couldn't get any good writers in that room.
Rob probably wanted to write it himself. He didn't want to dilute the voice of Deuce Bigelow. I don't know if they mentioned anyone else who's in this thing, but I guess we'll see.
Rob is a legend, and he is voicing Chum Chum Chilla, the patriarch of the Chilla family.
Chum Chum
I want to be
Chilla.
clear. This is not edutainment. We're not here to teach the kids in the guise of entertainment. This is entertainment with a capital E. Rob Schneider is a true entertainer. The writers and producers of this show are top Hollywood talent. Your kids are going to love it. You're going to love it. It's going to change everything. Our second show, you've also...
I like the idea of this, like, it's an inoffensive kids show that doesn't try to teach them anything that will change everything. Thanks to the star power of Rob
That sounds
Schneider.
so ominous.
heard a little bit about before, but I want to show you some of the first sketches and concept art. Zoodles is a fun-loving puppet monster, and he doesn't take direction particularly well.
Why would you need to
In the
animate a
Zoodles
puppet?
show, our old pal Zoodles will take art lessons alongside
He
real
looks like
kids.
a Who.
But Zoodles
Yeah, kinda.
probably won't get it quite right.
I'm
The
not
show is
digging
outrageously
this art
funny,
style as much as the Chip
and it's going to
Chillas, be
premiere
honest.
right alongside Chip Chilla, and it's going
He
to
looks like
premiere
a Who
in
mixed with a
2023.
Charizard.
Yeah.
And the third show from DW Kids, I don't think many people in the room have heard about at all, but you're going to be blown away. I'm proud to introduce A Wonderful Day with Mabel McClay. Mabel is going to
get you
take
excited.
kids through her incredible world where no cell phones
That's
or
a good
electronics
title.
are allowed, but joy and wonder rule the day. With her trusty dog Jasper by her side, Mabel will share laughs and love and introduce children to the beauty and meaning of a life of imagination. This is the kind of content that we got to grow up with that almost no kids today have gotten to have. In addition to the
I don't know if that's true. I feel like a lot
I don't know if that's true either.
I guess I don't watch
I don't
much
think
kids
any
stuff,
of them have
but-
actually watched children's entertainment.
No, I'm guessing not. But I don't know, like kids shows. This is them trying to get it on the ground floor, I guess. I remember when Jeremy
Wait,
was.
somebody in chat said she has. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Somebody in chat said she has SJW red hair. What does that mean?
Oh, probably that
Is it?
Big Red. I don't know if you remember her from years ago. This woman who was featured in like a million different SJW cringe compilations. Had red hair.
No.
So maybe
Okay.
that's the reference.
I was like, is that like, is red hair being like code for being a socialist now? If it is, like, I'm on board. But
Oh yeah, you're one of them. A red hair haver.
one of them.
Hey, there.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, it's totally fine. I don't even remember what I was going to say. Probably wasn't important. But that does remind me, there's like, you're my third guest ever on stream. And I realized today, all three of my guests have been white women with red hair. So,
Maybe that's it. Like, the socialism just turns all of our hair red.
that's pretty surprising. Also, apparently that's the trick to getting on a Jose stream. You just have to be a white woman with red hair.
With red hair, yeah. You have a type.
I guess. This is, I didn't really plan this, but here we go. There are worse types to have, like a Jeremy Boring type. That would be much worse.
Yeah. Facial blindness.
Yeah. man, generic man.
Generic man with a key around his neck.
Yeah. In case that's so he doesn't leave it at home. Or where would a person leave a key? Somewhere.
The amazing, funny, heartfelt stories that each one of these 3 shows will create. They're also going to create enormous opportunities for our commerce team to make new products, from plush toys to children's books to video games.
Yes.
We're creating an entire world where kids can live.
No
learn,
episodes
and
made
play
yet, but we got
without
toys.
anyone trying to rob them of the values that their parents have spent so much time trying to instill in them. The beginning for DW Kids. You know that we've brought in enormous talent who cut their teeth at places like Disney and
hype.
program.
The next
Our
thing is
general
gonna be.
entertainment, the COVID-19 pandemic. During us, it was ours to see streaming creative story, so Atlas Shrugged.
Here we go. Are they making an Atlas Shrugged movie?
Yes, this is the part where they announce the new movies they're doing. They're doing a new adaptation of Atlas Shrugged.
Oh, God damn it. Am I going to get a DW Plus subscription? Am I going to watch their trash Atlas Shrugged movie?
Well, can it be possibly worse than the last one? The 3-parter that was just savaged by critics. I haven't watched it myself.
That was made on a budget of like 10.
Yeah. I feel like they can probably keep it under.
I wonder
3
if they have a
years.
free trial period.
There are other ways of watching, of course. Not that I'm recommending anyone do
yeah.
anything illegal. I'm just saying, perhaps make a conservative friend
There
or
are other
something.
ways of watching.
Yes. Aside from giving these people your money. I'm guessing it's not going to get a theatrical release. Just a guess. But this would be their 5th movie.
Like I said, I'm going to be like kind of rebranding and focusing my channel a bit more in 2023. And I kind of feel like a perfect way to do that would be to do a detailed analysis of the Atlas Shrugged movie. I can't wait.
I mean, they only just bought the rights to it, so you might be waiting a while. But
I might be waiting a while. Oh, God, I hope it doesn't get like locked in development hell. I hope they rush it out. I hope it's really sloppy and slapdash.
I mean, it would have to be with these people making it. Although there's a fun story because they had that one movie with Gina Carano. There were originally going to be 2, and the first one though never got finished because Gina Carano didn't feel comfortable filming in a state that required people to wear masks. They had to fold the whole production up, and they just never went back to it.
Obsessed. At least she's consistent, you know?
Yeah, good for her. And they're like, the next movie, thankfully, they went to a state where they could get away with not having to wear masks on set. But
I will say, like, on the... So I think I was saying earlier that, like, in reference to some of the people who are behind the groomer panic, that I think a lot of right-wing grifters are just that, like grifters who don't believe what they say, and then some of them genuinely believe it. Gina Carano is definitely somebody who genuinely believes everything that she says, because she was like on her way to getting her own Star Wars spinoff, and she just could not shut her mouth. Like,
yeah, and people took her
girl.
aside to tell her, like, hey, don't put this stuff out there. It's gonna like be bad for your career. And she still did it. It's amazing.
Just shut the fuck up, Gina.
Wow, it's there is something funny about these people who just torch their careers like that. Because they need to compare being conservative to being Jewish during the Holocaust.
Oh my God, Gina! Gina! Make it make sense, Gina.
Sadly, I don't think we're going to be seeing much Gina at the Daily Wire. Or I don't know, maybe they'll cast her in one of these movies, but they've been very quiet about any future plans they'll have with her. And she was just in that Hunter Biden movie, so her career's going in a direction.
Ooh, yeah, I saw like clips of that, and it looked very cheap.
I heard like half of it is filmed with like in a car, like people sitting in cars talking to each other, which is sounds very affordable. But Not something I'd watch. Anyway, they have another license they've purchased, but we'll get to that in a few moments, I guess, after he finishes talking about Atlas Shrugged.
I'm so excited.
I don't think anyone's going to see this one coming. I think we're both hitting pause.
Oh no, sorry.
It's okay.
There's never been a definitive series adaptation of Atlas. There will be now, and it will be on Daily Wire.
It's going to be a series.
And
exciting.
A series. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
And while Atlas has shaped the worldview of millions of people around the globe, there's a series of books that I read as a teenager that more than any other helped shape my worldview.
Does anyone want to venture a guess? Series of books?
I'll
give you a genre.
say The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Ooh, you're close. You're in the realm of possibility. It is a fantasy series.
Okay. They are not going to be towing, creeping in on Amazon's territory with Lord of the Rings, are they?
No, definitely not. You may not know the name of the series, but you'll know the characters.
Okay.
And they are connected to a certain country in Europe.
Connected to.
If I give you the country, that might give it away. But if no one's getting it, I might give you the country.
Ooh, somebody said Harry Potter.
I don't think they can afford Harry Potter, sadly.
I don't think so. I think Warner Brothers still firmly has that IP.
Couple of good guesses in the chat.
I don't know.
Well, think the British Isles.
Okay. British Isles, and it's a fantasy series. Really pulling up short on my fantasy series here.
Well, these are old legends.
A lot of people are saying King Arthur. I don't think they'd need to buy an IP for that, would they?
You know, you've just hatched on something very interesting. So let's just watch this video now.
It's based on perhaps the most impactful myth in the Western tradition, the legend of King Arthur. And it's called The Pendragon Cycle by Stephen R. Lawhead. And today, I'm beyond thrilled to announce that the Daily Wire Plus has secured the rights to this unbelievable work.
Okay, so they bought one of the interpretations of it.
Yeah, and you kind of just hit it on the head there. You don't need to bind the rights to these characters.
No. The Pendragon Cycle, that's not the one that starts with the once and future king, right? Or is it?
I don't remember. Let's ask Google quickly.
That was like one of my mom's favorite books, The Once and Future King.
No, it starts with Taliesin, then Merlin, Arthur, Pendragon, Grail, and Avalon. Those are the novels.
Okay. Lame.
Yeah. This actually reminds me of
incredibly lame.
Do you know the TV show Grimm?
I know of it. I've never seen it.
Well, you don't have to have seen it for this story to work. So there was like a comic series called Fables that was basically Grimm, about like fantasy characters in the real world with like detective stuff going on. And apparently the network was thinking of buying the rights to that series and turn it into a TV show. And they realized, like, wait a second, the characters are like Snow White and the Big Bad Wolf. We don't need to pay anyone for this. So they just dropped Fables and like, we'll make our own thing. And they did. And
that's true.
And that's what the Daily Wire could be doing, but I guess they want to
The Daily Wire did not need to buy the rights to this.
No. So I feel like they're not being very wise with their money.
This isn't even like a famous like adaptation of this story. That's why I asked if it was the one that started with the Once and Future King, because I know that was like a pretty big deal in the like 60s. They sure as shit aren't gonna adapt the Mists of Avalon, because that's about women. So I wondered if they like spent the money on the rights because it was like a particularly good adaptation, but they could have just. It sounds like a very basic King Arthur adaptation. They could have just done their own King Arthur series.
Yeah, it really seems like no real market research is going into this. They're just sort of like, what do we like? Ayn Rand and this fantasy thing I read when I was a teenager. Someone apparently is reading.
They're bad at this.
Yeah. Someone has said in the Wikipedia page the author is an evangelical Christian, so there could be something here about like
they just wanted to
circulating
give
some of
him
that money. Yeah, that makes more sense than this.
It's not beyond the realm of possibility that this might be like an insurance scam or like a money laundering scheme as well. Just pour a lot of money into producing a TV show and then call it a wash.
Yeah, that may be it. I definitely suspect that for a lot of these things, these projects, it's just getting money to the right people and avoiding paying taxes. Oh, and to answer someone's question in chat, yeah, the Fables comic series was adapted by Telltale into The Wolf Amongst Us, The Wolf Among Us, which is a great game. If you want more about fantasy characters solving crimes. I don't know what he's going to say about Pendragon Cycle, but let's go through this bit.
In Great Britain and the rise of Christianity in the blood-soaked pagan islands.
Wait.
Blood-soaked pagan islands.
That's interesting. I'm pretty sure that's not how history went down, but okay. It's been a while since I've read any King Arthur or Le Morte d'Arthur, because I'm an English nerd. Which is why I said it in French.
British Isles. It's the most ambitious thing we've ever set about to do, and it's going to be incredible, and it's going to premiere on Daily Wire Plus in 2023.
I feel like if they're doing a fantasy thing and it's coming out next year, is it already in production? Like, are they done filming?
Do they have any production stills?
And wouldn't they announce something if they had actors cast or some creative talent? I don't know, maybe we missed that part, but I feel like this isn't going to be their Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oof. But if it is in production and they do release it, I kind of want to see this too, because I do want to see the Daily Wire's cheap version of a fantasy drama.
Oh, I'm watching all of these. We mock and laugh, but I'm watching every single one of these. At the very least, I'll farm some content out of it.
Exactly.
Actually, have you watched any of their stuff before?
No. Anything that I've seen from the Daily Wire has just been filtered through, the channels of friends.
Okay. Well,
I've managed to avoid them.
They do have original movies. None I'd recommend. I'd recommend my videos on those movies, but not the actual movies.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is how I consume their content, is through the channels of friends mocking them.
So I guess in some ways they're financing us as well, our YouTube channels here.
Yeah.
Those of us who profit off their crap.
So I hope they live long and prosper.
Give us more of that. What I want more than anything is for Ben Shapiro to write something. I want to see the Ben Shapiro limited series of something.
God,
I don't care what.
He used to want to be a television writer.
Yeah, but he was bad at it.
Live your dream, Ben.
He built a company from the ground up on bigotry and hatred just so he could finally make a movie.
I want them to adapt one of his novels.
How wonderful would that be?
Oh, it'd be so good.
Of you to redouble your efforts to help us become what we have to be.
I don't know what else they're going to announce here.
And
So
more
we're
who
just gonna
are
skim
relentless
over here.
on winning. We have any company.
We're going to win
As
and
you
do
give
so
us
well.
your best on the target, if you stay optimistic.
So you
It's gonna be a
just
proper
begging
town
them
hall
to
if we
give
didn't
him
give you the
money?
opportunity to complain about the snacks in the break room
I don't know. I like this passive-aggressive comment about the snacks, though.
or whatever. So we're going to take a handful of questions, and we're also going to take questions from some of our online audience. And
Wait, questions from their staff? Well, I guess a town hall would do
staff.
that, but
Yeah.
if it's Jeremy answering the questions, I don't think I want to hear it, but maybe he'll pull someone up.
in particular, some of those
The iPad. I'm not sure who has the
Oh,
answer
it's
to
that. That's like, I forget what her name is, but she's supposed to be the female Ben Shapiro. Are you familiar with this person?
No, I'm not.
She does
The
like
female Ben Shapiro isn't his sister?
no. She does like short little TikTok style videos for YouTube. She gets like millions of views. It's kind of scary.
Oh no.
Brett Cooper. Thank you, chat.
Brett Cooper.
She started off as an actress, didn't really work out. Now she does propaganda for a living.
Cool. I
She's-
mean, get paid, honey. Get that bag.
I hope she's getting paid a lot. It's just sad that she's very young, but there you go.
I'll go ahead and just start here. All right, Jeremy. First of all, this is the most important question. Are you team beard or no beard for Ben Shapiro?
Oh, beard. I don't have to kiss the guy?
This
I
is
thought
so
I was against the
embarrassing.
beard. When they,
You know, I don't
They're
think
really trying to do a like, are you team Jacob or Edward, but for like conservative nerds?
Oh wow, it's depressing. It's sad. It's a trial. I feel like we can kind of call it on this video, unless you feel like we need to go through the last 13 minutes here. How you feeling?
I don't think we're gonna find anything of value in their town hall. I'm just gonna get depressed.
Probably. So yeah, we're gonna call it a wraps on the Daily Wire Plus town hall. Okay, we have other options though. Let's.
Okay.
If you still feel like you have the stamina, the strength to continue. I know this stuff can be a bit. Perilous.
Let's do one more, and then I wanna find out what this Ben Shapiro challenge is.
Okay. That's right. I should have introduced that. The Ben Shapiro challenge is something all my guests have to do at some point. And we'll do that after the next video.
Great.
So we can either do a short one or kind of a long one. I'm worried that if we do the long one, it's going to be like intense, but it's also it's far more interesting. The short one's like a minute. I can tell you what they are.
What are they about?
So the short one is
Yeah.
like a series of clips someone put online from the Patriot Awards. It's about a minute of conservative commentators being very embarrassing for this awards show. We're not going to list the actual awards because they just give it to random people. And I don't feel like laughing at some weird old guy who served in World War II because he actually did a public service. But you do get to see some weird, like Sean Hannity do his Bill Clinton impression. Tucker Carlson seeming really fake. It's pretty bad. The other one is about 20 minutes. It's an episode of a TV sitcom called The Pot Wins, starring Kevin Sorbo as a conservative dad raising an obnoxious libertarian kid, a liberal daughter, and they live with their former hippie grandpa. And it's very poorly produced. And anyone who's watched a stream here has watched at least one episode of this show. And
Also
it's
sounds delightful. What does chat want to do?
do we want to put it up to a vote? I can make a poll.
Yeah, let's put it up to a vote. What would chat rather see? The Patriot Awards compilation or Kevin Sorbo's terrible sitcom?
Okay. People can enjoy the sound of my typing. Keep in mind, people are saying, like, adding it. I'm not going to be reading those, so. Wait, okay. I accidentally put a third option, but now it's just going to be two. Here comes the poll. Everyone go vote. Do some democracy.
This is so official.
Oh, yeah. People here love voting. They're all about it.
We love democracy. Here at Jose.
Also, I figured out where the echo was coming on while we were talking. It was all me. It was me all along. Sorry, everyone.
Oh no!
I had a tab open that I
What
didn't
was
realize
it?
it was open. Because I had like...
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. So
I thought, I was like, I do hear some room sound for sure, but it's not like super annoying to me.
well, I think we're fixed now. This won't have an echo, whatever it is. I feel it's looking like Kevin Sorbo's going to take this. We do have
All right.
another delineation here. Do you want to watch it from the very beginning, the pilot episode, or do you want to watch the one episode we haven't seen on stream, which is the third one, I believe?
Let's hop into the third one, so that like everybody who's already watched it doesn't have to rewatch something they've already seen. But I may need to be caught up to speed, like brought up to speed on Kevin Sorbo's. I'm sure this is a very complicated TV show.
So one of the nice things about actually helps not watching the pilot is the mother just vanishes when they, because it didn't. They cast a mother in the first pilot episode, then when they turned it into a series, they just like dropped her. Never really explained. I guess she's dead now. You don't really need to know too much else about the show. I basically described it. Aside from the fact that this show hasn't been broadcast anywhere, the only reason I found it is because I found one of the producer's Vimeo pages where he puts up rough cuts of the episodes. Publicly available, by the way. I hacked nothing. They're just out there. And so some of the effects are not entirely
poor
finished.
guy. He was like, please look at my work. Please see my work. Please hire me.
They wanted to turn it into a series, but no one's been interested. They filmed it a couple of years ago. Yeah.
It's a tough industry.
It definitely
is a tough industry.
So I am going to load up episode 3. It's called Track Meet. Meet, M-E-A-T is how it is spelled. Oh, it's for some reason it can't be found. That's weird.
Awesome. So the same link.
Yeah. How about I do this?
I've never used Watch Together before.
It works now. It's fine. Okay. Remember, everyone, this is going to be... I should end the poll. Only 131 people votes. I guess not everyone likes voting if there are almost 500 people watching this stream and everyone's just willing to let the majority
Some of them are just
decide.
happy to be here, you know?
Hey, I respect that. It's like, but this is how we got a Ford government here in Ontario, just so people know. I know that means very little to everyone outside of Canada, but it's a thing.
I know what it means because we did a Respect the Dead episode on his brother.
Oh, good old Rob Ford. Yeah. Did you get that clip where he talks about what he likes to eat at home?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that was in the episode.
Yeah, that was one of that's one of those moments where I'm just like, you have children, sir, and they're gonna have to see that. But
as a real sicko, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a character. Of all the things he's done, it's not the worst. Worst is probably Ruining the City, but some other stuff as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So, here we go. Track Meet. If there is any music, we may have to put it on mute just because that sometimes gets copyright claimed, and they don't use public domain music. They use other stuff. So, if that happens, be aware. And what do I want to say here? As before, if you feel the need to stop and really savor these moments, feel free to do so. And hopefully, we won't trip on each other as we pause and play.
Thank you.
Obviously a very rough cut.
I love the countdown. Yeah.
It's like a YouTube premiere.
The pot wins.
I need to turn this up a little.
Welcome, one and all, to Bueller College's first home track meet. Bueller is looking to break their string of 50 consecutive losses. Coach Manro thinks...
So the old guy is the grandpa on the left, and the kid on the right is Billy. I feel like I need to add a bit of background here. The guy who created the show ran for Senate in Vermont, not against Bernie Sanders. He was up against the other senator from Vermont. I forget his name. He lost big time, but he was supported by this old lady who is like a billionaire or a millionaire, very rich, because she inherited it from her father, who was a horrible business guy from the 1930s and 40s. There's actually a famous photo of him getting carried away by the military because he was trying to squash a union during wartime. It's like the best thing the U.S. military's ever done. That and fighting the Nazis. Was getting the strike-busting boss. His name was literally... his first initials were SL and his last name was Avery, so his name spelled slavery.
Oh, Jesus.
That's not a joke. I should get a picture of the guy. His first name is like
Why
Sewell.
would you go by your first and second initial if your last name is Avery and your initials are SL?
Sewell Lee Avery. His name's Slavery. Let's get that photo of him getting carried away by
Slavery.
And yeah, there he is getting carried away by the military.
Change your name. You can do that now.
Well, he's dead, so no, he can't do that now.
You can't do it anymore.
Here's a nomination for Respect the Dead. Do a quick little episode on this guy. He seems like a real piece of crap.
SL Avery. We got to make a note of that. He looks like Henry Ford. And he's doing some of the same stuff as Henry Ford.
Yeah. So that's where the money for this camp comes from initially. Guy like this, and it travels down through the ages to give us a terrible conservative sitcom. The guy, when he was running for office, the senator who made this terrible show, he had like this viral ad that made him think he was really funny. And it didn't. It wasn't funny. Also, I should turn off my Discord sound. Someone just like is pointing that out, and I'm getting some DMs right now. How do I do that? Like, is there like a stream mode here? Because I don't want to mute you.
I have no idea because I don't know how Discord works.
I just muted where the noises are coming from, so it should be fine for now. All right, let's get back into this episode. Grandpa and Billy are at a track meet. I guess someone is competing, and we see these extras. I don't know why these three people have come alone to this track meet at a high school, but I don't know. They have school spirit, I guess.
That this could be their year.
Sports, right? I mean, who came up with this stuff?
The blonde-haired girl is the sister.
Like
Wait.
1980. How did you graduate high school?
Is one of them
That was
Scottish?
spot win.
I guess.
Kid kebabs, as we called them back in the day.
Title card.
Whatever. Actually, what we're doing now dates back to ancient Greece. Javelin, throwing a spear, shot put, throwing a...
They're
Put a
such
shot.
good actors.
Anyway, it's all based on stuff we don't
Yeah.
even need in today's world, which makes it the perfect contemporary athletic competition.
Thanks for clearing that up, Coach.
Okay, calm yourself, Potwin. If I'm being abrupt, it's because we got a track meet to win, and our opponents will not be easily vanquished.
Coach, we can handle the competition.
Oh, really? You're facing the Bezos College Amazons. You think you can just handle them?
Maybe.
The Bezos
depends how you
College
handle it.
Amazons. Okay, that's funny. That's
Don't
good.
be so naive.
They winning you
The
over?
Amazons will stop at nothing to conquer the track world.
That was a good
Ladies,
joke. I liked
pull
it.
yourself together. It's showtime.
And here they come, ladies and gentlemen, the Bezos Amazons, coached by legendary
Oh.
trackman.
Oh, look,
Scott
it's men wearing
McGillicuddy.
pink and short shorts.
I
Bezos
feel like I'm gonna get claimed for that. But
just
also,
called them all F slurs.
yeah. I already see where this is going. I'm gonna have to mute this until we get this music passes. By the way, everyone, I'm sure we're not missing much, but I feel like we're gonna get some bad trans jokes here. I know we're missing audio, or dialogue, but... Oh, okay, the music's good.
Yo, fellas, you got the wrong date. Men's meet is next week.
Say what now? Whoa, sorry. She's sorry. It's okay. I got this. It's fine, okay?
McGillicuddy, what the heck?
You're familiar with the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals decision on transgender athletes in college sports, right?
Sure, I may have heard about it in passing.
Okay, well, it says anything goes.
So what are you saying?
That
Oh
my girls
my
are
God.
going to destroy you.
Here we go.
Ladies, come on.
What's going on?
We got a situation here. And by we got a situation here, I mean you got a situation here.
Wait, you totally stole that from Deadpool.
What? No, I just came up with it.
Hello? When Weasel calls Ray from Sister Margaret's to warn him about the visit from Ajax?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Deadpool. You know, the most popular movie ever.
Isn't...
Wait, what's up with her accent? As if that's the most
Yeah,
objectionable
she's like
part.
doing a Scottish accent, but they're in Southern California.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
So has the show lost you yet after their Bezos Amazons joke?
I mean, having a team called the Bezos College Amazons was funny, but it's all gone downhill since they introduced them.
Yeah, I feel like they've spent all their goodwill.
Avengers Endgame the most movie ever?
Well, I wasn't being literal. I was just making a rhetorical point.
Well, you should have said that.
Then I would have been rhetorical then with it.
Okay, look. The point
I feel like her
is,
accent is changing every other line.
I think they prefer the term gender fluid,
know.
you know, as opposed to them.
The gender fluids.
You probably shouldn't put so much emphasis on the fluids part.
Gender fluid.
It's not great, but better.
Is it just me, or is the pole vault the most sexually explicit event in all of sports?
Get a grip.
Oh, exactly.
Look, we've got a competition, okay? Gotta get your head on straight.
All right.
Come on.
Of course.
Yes.
Straight over there.
Let's do this.
Let me see the height. Let me see the height. Yeah. Okay. Stretch it out.
Ruh-roh. I don't think those women are exactly ladies.
Well, that's often the case.
I don't think those women are exactly ladies.
They're more feminine.
The writing in this is
No,
very
Grandpa, they're
good.
men.
Yeah, you can almost tell this guy's never really written anything.
There. Hey, sweetheart. Oh. Hey. Wow, that's one frisky filly right there.
What is going on in this show?
What the hell?
I'm like,
You
you
switched into
can't
night mode.
see, chat can't see me because we're not on camera, but I'm like,
I have my reasons.
I'm like giving myself wrinkles. My face is so
Hey, guys.
scrunched up watching this. I've got like such like vicarious embarrassment right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I kind of wish I was there on set when they were filming this. I want to know, like, what do you guys think you're doing here? Do you think, like, is this
Yeah.
working for you?
Like as both a writer and an actor, I want to help them. I want, like, put aside my leftism. I'm like, let's make this less bad. This is bad.
It's just a basic level of competence we take for granted when we consume our
Yeah.
media. Like, not everything can measure up to the basic standards of, I don't know, writing a script that doesn't just bounce from weird transphobic jokes to objectifying a random woman in the crowd, or the coach, I guess. And you've got that strange
the
Scottish
scenes have got no
character.
focus.
Yeah. Also, they couldn't pay for more extras? Like, is it just the Potwins and 3 people? I don't know. But at least Kevin Sorbo has shown up to save us.
Oh, thank God.
He's gonna elevate this whole experience. I can feel it.
And he's gonna bring that Hercules je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. Here we go. Come on, Hercules, save us all.
Yes.
Grandpa blinded himself with my night vision binoculars.
You okay, Dad? Is that you, Nate?
Oh, yeah. And the other team are dudes.
Dudes? Oh, I get it. That's what you kids call everyone, right? Dude?
No, the other team has pork and beans.
Pork and beans?
See for yourself.
You turn the night mode off?
I think so.
I think we just saw that.
Exactly.
Yeah. They just used that take twice.
There's no one here.
Well, it is women's sports.
Oh, it's part of the joke. That's why there are no extras. Okay.
Today's first event, the javelin throw. First competitor is Megan Potwin. Megan's personal best is 20 feet, 4 inches.
You can do it!
Megan used to be on Degrassi.
You can do it!
Really?
Yeah, she was in the rebooted version. She was one of the characters on there. So her career's not going great.
No. Also, none of these people have ever seen sports.
No.
Way to go, Megan!
What happened?
Megan did good. Really good.
Ah, well, you just do a woo for me. I'm a little parched here.
Woo!
Of course, that's Barry Bostwick if you didn't recognize him.
How'd you get that by security?
Hat and glasses.
What? Did you bring one for me?
Okay. I dig the shirt.
Next competitor up is Bezos Amazon's Pat Ronhurst. Her personal best, well, more than 20 feet.
Amazon!
Did you see that? Amazing.
VFX javelin flies over the fence.
I kind of want to go back to that. In case anyone missed that. That's just good. That's what you, the pure energy you don't get in a finished product.
Yeah. It's great.
But, I feel like you should have noticed that sooner.
What the?
Now we move on to the shot put. First up is Bezos Pat Ronhurst, whose personal best is all that and a bag of chips.
I got this.
I've got this. Yeah, you got this.
Yeah. All right.
I don't got this. You got this. You got this. You got this. You're good.
Really filmed a first draft, didn't they?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That guy is good.
You can't say that.
But he is.
No, you can't say that pronoun.
Yeah, Dad.
Well, thank
No
God a
pronouns.
pronoun joke.
What am I supposed to say?
Hoping we get one of
We
those.
had this discussion.
That
No
was with me,
pronouns.
Grandpa.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, try gender non-binary. That suits this situation to a T.
I'm not going to say that.
Why?
That gender non-binary is good? I'm sorry, no.
If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. Zip it.
Do you listen to yourself?
Zip it.
Guys.
Next competitor, Franny Love. Personal best is, well, I'm not going to say that little number out loud, but she knows.
Come on, friend.
God, it sounds like bad improv.
It's just yes and the worst thing you can think of.
It's just like, good Lord.
Honestly, this is just sapping the life out of me. This is so for a Potwins episode. This one is actually maybe the worst.
It's really bad. Oh God, it's really bad. It makes me want to teach a class on writing a sitcom script so that we can point out all the ways that it goes wrong. This is what it looks like when something doesn't have an act break or a second act complication. It's just like this like mono scene that goes on forever and doesn't have a point, and all of the dialogue sounds like they're making it up on the spot.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes it's important to give characters motivations and actual, I don't know, personalities instead of just
like I know that I'm coming in 3 episodes in, but I should still be able to, with a sitcom, I should be able to know who all of the characters are, like even if I'm coming in 3 episodes in, like it should be like pretty clear. And I don't. I know who Kevin Sorbo is and the grandpa and the son. They're pretty clear. But like the two teams are kind of like these amorphous blobs. One of them is doing a bizarre accent for some reason.
Yeah. Like, would you have been able to guess which one is the daughter, I guess? I mean, presumably not the one with the accent, but the accent is so mysterious.
Not the one with the accent. I'm going to guess that the blonde one is, but that's based on the fact that she's the skinny blonde one, and you said she had a career before this.
Yeah, she was on Degrassi, so that's something she did.
So the biggest name, basically.
Yeah, or what constitutes a name. And it's yeah, not watching the earlier episodes wouldn't have helped you. I mean, you'd know who the characters are, but there was no mention, I don't believe, of Megan having any sort of sports career. If anything, she was actually, in an earlier episode, she was performing in some weird stage production that I guess is supposed to make fun of left-wing art, but it was just weird and indecipherable, because I guess that's what left-wing art is. Ironically, this is way less cogent.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, fucking, that's rich coming from the creators of whatever the fuck this is.
Well, luckily it's only 20 minutes and we're almost halfway through.
We're halfway through.
Almost. let's see if this comes together in a way that wins us around. I mean, we still remember that joke, the Jeff Bezos' Amazons and the good days.
I mean, that was a good one.
That was early era.
I wish I could take that for a better thing. Like, I don't know. It feels like inevitable. Like in the future, there will be a Bezos college, and it'd be funny if their sports team was called the Amazon. Their sports team, you know, the team that does all their sports.
Yeah, this was ahead of its time. And also to Kaylin in the chat, this is called The Potwins. It is a sitcom that never got to be, but I found a copy of it online that, well, I don't think it was meant for an audience, but we're giving it an audience. Appreciating this unseen art.
This is part of this director's reel, and it's real tragic.
Oh yeah. You should see the stuff that doesn't have Kevin Sorbo in it. That's a nightmare.
And that takes us to our midpoint breather.
Bring that down a little.
Please visit our concession stand, staffed today by the Bueller College Vegan Society. Yummy!
Okay, ladies, we can do
Wow,
this.
that was low
By do
effort.
this, you mean eat a big bag of defeat flavored Tootsie Rolls? Then I am totally with you.
Coach is right. We can do this.
Eat Tootsie Rolls?
What? No, we can beat these guys.
Careful.
We can beat those non-binary gender competitors.
Careful.
God,
We
really
can mutually engage these
bringing
non-binary gender
every ounce of
competitors
life from this
to
pronoun
an
joke.
outcome that makes everyone a winner.
It's
better.
painful.
It's all going to come down to the relay race.
Coach, how are we going to compete with Franny's broken foot?
Oh, please. My brother's a lawyer.
And what does that have to do with anything?
There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Skinning cats? Really?
Hello, brother. I got a job for you. I don't know if it's legal, not legal, I could care less.
It's stock
What
footage.
is going on?
I don't know.
Not this stock footage.
What?
Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen.
I like that stock
What the
footage. It
fuck
was
was that?
Has filed an
It's a
amicus
mystery.
brief with the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to allow them to
That was
enter
so
the final
sloppy
event
and lazy.
as handy capable, whatever that means.
Well, all they had was tofu fries and wheatgrass drinks.
Yummy!
Yummy.
Wait,
So what
but
I missed?
vegans can eat normal fries.
Yeah, they're potatoes.
Yeah.
What about pronouns? I thought you couldn't say guys.
They made this mistake before. In one of the early episodes, they had like a sugar-free snack table, and they had like fruit on there. I'm like, there's sugar and fruits. Quite a bit, actually.
Got bad news about. They should know this. Like, so many conservative people have diabetes. Come on.
Yeah.
Megan, is that silver-haired fox with you?
I guess they're brewing a romance here.
Ooh, Mama like. Hello, Daddy.
He's my grandpa.
Oh, even better. Good luck, sweetheart. You're always my
Oh,
favorite.
I thought
Now
they
get
were
up there and
married.
get out.
I'm so confused.
No, I don't know what happened to Grandma. She's dead, I guess.
There are the Bezos runners are out to a lead. Megan Hoffman is keeping close.
What is this game? Like, because they did javelin and shot put belong together, but now they're doing a relay.
It's, I think, a very vague understanding of track and field.
Okay, it's all the track and field.
Okay.
Maybe like my high school, I think just had track.
I mean, you would have more than 4 people on your team typically, so that's probably why it's so
Yeah,
confusing.
it's weird that the people doing the javelin are also doing the race. I don't know.
So I shouldn't be playing this music. Damn, this is gonna get claimed. It's too late now. How is there still 8 minutes to this? This is the resolution, right? Like using their own political correctness against them.
Uh-huh.
And end of episode. But it's wow.
Way to go, Megan. Yeah, here we go.
The lawyers have taken the field.
They just kept that
The
tape.
Bueller attorney has thrown a flag. Folks, by the looks of things, this result could go all the way to the Supreme Court.
What the hell? If you're first across the finish line, you're the winner.
You know what they say? It's not over until the fat lady issues her decree.
I don't care how fat the judge is. You know who the only winner here is?
I don't understand
the
what's happening.
lawyers! The freaking lawyers!
I don't understand what's happening either.
That's true.
I wanted to get a medal. I'm sure you'll get one whenever the courts allow it.
I've never got one.
You will. You will.
I wonder how much they all got paid for this.
I think most of it went to Kevin Sorbo.
What did we just witness?
They're at home now.
The demise of civilization as we know it.
Clearly, you guys haven't been keeping up with the Kardashians.
Hey, why are you busting on Yeezy?
Yeezy?
What?
Grandpa, it's
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
The end of civilization began.
You can tell this was filmed in 2020, huh?
The end of civilization began with Reagan.
Clinton.
Obama?
Trump?
Hey, everyone!
Oh, hi, sweetheart. Well, despite everything that happened today, you seem to be in a good mood.
Dad, it's in the hands of the courts now. We have to respect the process.
Right on.
Besides, Franny photoshopped us getting our medals.
But you didn't get medals.
Dad, if it's on Instagram, which it is, then it's real. Just ask the Kardashians.
I have so much to learn.
I don't know what's happening. I mean, we said that before, but
Thanks, Dad.
He's a great too.
This is really confusing.
This is like, this
Hey,
is
sis.
very poor quality.
How is there still 5 minutes left is what I want to know.
So what do you want?
I know I don't often
Because
compliment
this
you.
thing is
Never
not
compliment
structured.
you.
Fair enough. But
No, I
wanted
mean,
to tell you
everything
how
has
proud
been
of you I am.
resolved. She's happy she got her medal anyway.
I mean, you threw your spear.
For some reason, she took the javelin home with
You
her.
threw your javelin like a ton.
Literally got
Impressive.
resolved like right after the midpoint.
Thanks.
So, I was wondering if you could teach me how to do that.
Why? You gonna join the track team?
I was thinking more target practice.
Target practice?
I need a primitive weapon for my bug out bag. You know, to kill small animals like rabbit and such to save ammo.
Bug out bag? What are you talking about?
Bug
That's a
out
good
bag.
question.
You know,
Yeah.
for when the crap hits the fan and we're on our own in a dystopian world. Tents, water purifiers,
I like his
dried food.
generic kid costume.
He's the son of the producer.
Nuts.
So where
That's
are
how
we
he
on
got
the
the role.
spear thing?
You need help?
No campfire roasted rabbit for you.
Another scene.
Oh my god,
Another scene.
See, she doesn't
What
get
is
it.
happening
She
now?
doesn't get it. She doesn't get it.
They're at a club, but they're also high school students.
If I wanted a Ken doll, I'll go buy one. Like, cheers.
My. Aren't any lawyers around now?
Well, there could be. I mean, how do you know the professions of strangers in a bar?
Let's finish this thing. Once and for all.
I like that they're still wearing their track costumes.
Yeah. The wardrobe person
The
clearly
girls are all
didn't think
dressed up
ahead.
for a night out.
Yeah.
Dance off.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to meet this song.
Dance off.
Okay.
Oh, there's a dance off.
Yeah. I guess this is just how they end the episode. 3-minute dance off.
A dance off in an empty bar.
Wow. There we go. Title card. We can only guess what. I mean, credits? It's got to be credits.
I guess so.
Wow. Long credit sequence of 3 minutes. But there we go. That was the pot wins.
Wow.
For the pot wins, this
That
was
was-
particularly bad, I have to say.
I'm glad we watched this episode because it was so bad.
What do you take from this? How does this fill your soul?
That conservative people's aversion to any kind of education has resulted in them not being able to put together like even a competent artistic project because none of them want to like learn things like structure and good joke writing. I do like that they've ended with Ace of Base. Feels very on brand.
I think you might be
So
onto
are they friends with the other team now?
Well, we're
We're
just
all
hearing music
besties.
now, right? So presumably the dance off brings them together. Or maybe
Well,
the title
that's
card
nice.
is
I
filling
feel
in
like
the
a happy
blanks.
ending.
Yeah. I'm not sure what this episode was trying to say. Because it started off with like trans people are bad, but here they are partying at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's almost like the sporting event didn't matter at all, and they just needed to go to a bar and dance together. And
isn't that a lesson for us all?
yeah, I feel like it had something to say that was worth listening to. I don't know if they know what they're saying, but I agree. We should all go to a bar and dance and not be so obsessed with whether or not someone is trans. Just have a good time.
And that's the way we can overcome our differences.
Well, Potwins, you won me back. It was 15 minutes.
I'm on board. Now I'm gonna watch this whole series.
Well,
How many episodes are there?
Including the pilot, there are 4. I know they've produced 7 more, but I have not been able to find those. They are not publicly available. I know John Lovitz is in one of them.
Oh, all right.
Uh,
I need to watch this whole 4-episode series then. Put myself through. I really love self-harm.
well,
I need to engage in some self-harm and watch this entire series.
You came to the right stream for that. Also appearing in a later episode that we haven't seen is Tia Carrere. There's another one.
Tia Carrere. Oh my gosh, John Lovitz, Tia Carrere. Like, what a. This is
like
this is very upsetting.
Yeah.
Maybe they got paid well.
I assume so. Whoever paid that money is not getting it back because I don't think they're going to be able to sell this to anybody. And as more time goes on, the more dated this stuff. The very first episode is actually a reference to COVID lockdowns. It's called like Quarantine or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're hoarding toilet paper and like trying to avoid getting vaccinated. It's very of its time. Late 2020.
Yeah. Just dating it right out the gate.
I guess they figured, people are so anxious for this Kevin Sorbo sitcom, they'll just lap it right up.
Ooh, how's that going?
They asked the world, do you need more Sorbo? And they were just like, no, we're
And
good.
the world said, no thanks.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, though, because the pilot did very well, because they put that on YouTube, so anyone can watch that thing. And it got nearly 500,000 views.
Oh, right. Wow.
Yeah. It's easily their best produced thing, too. But, yeah, no one bought it.
Yikes. So, what's this Ben Shapiro challenge I hear tell of?
So, the Ben Shapiro challenge. This is, I will be taking a sample from one of the literary works of Mr. Shapiro. And the challenge for you is to read one page, and you are not allowed to stop, whether it's for laughter, confusion, anger. It doesn't matter. You have to get, you don't have to read it like Ben Shapiro super fast. Just read it in your normal voice. But if you can't make it to the end, you fail the challenge. But if you make it to the end, you succeed.
Oh, I'm nervous. I will not do well at this challenge. I'm predicting right now.
Well, you have some options here on what you would like to read. Would you like one of his short stories or something from his novel?
Because I'm terrible at making a decision, let's put it up to chat again.
Okay.
Would you guys like to hear from the novel is True Allegiance, right?
Yeah.
Or a short story. True Allegiance or a short story. I'm already seeing people calling for the novel.
Yeah, it's looking like it. People are not as familiar with the short stories. But I'll put the thing up here. And I feel like I'm gonna look for an excerpt right now.
Excellent.
And are you familiar with any of his works?
Somewhat. I'm somewhat familiar with True Allegiance. And I do know that he's written some short sci-fi stories, right?
I would describe 2 of them as sci-fi. The other one is more of an Americana, like slice of life type thing.
Right. Okay. Bless him. He does want to be a writer.
He truly does.
Writing is hard. I'll give that to you, Ben Shapiro. Writing is hard. Writing is especially hard if you're resistant to any kind of feedback.
Or in any way curious about the world and how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, empathy is definitely a helpful tool for somebody who's trying to, you know, imagine other people's inner lives.
True. You have to create characters that have some kind of spark in them, you know? Okay. It's looking like True Allegiance is going to win it.
All right.
I'm going to try and find a good excerpt. It's only a novel, so it should be easy to skim, right? All right, we'll go with this bit right here. And this is from, I'm going to send you a document file to read this. Ooh, that formatted poorly.
Great.
Let me just fix this up here so it looks good. But as I do that, I'll set this up. This is from the perspective of a character named Soledad. She is one of the focal point characters for this novel. There are quite a few of them. I don't know if I should tell you much about her because that will be revealed in, I believe this is her first chapter. So this is how we learn about Soledad and what she's all about.
Great.
Yeah. I'll need a few moments here. And
no problem. While you're setting up, I'm going to
vamp.
actually go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
That's not going to help me with the silence, but it'll give us some time.
Okay.
All right. I think I have it about done. So as Hoot takes care of business, I'll leave it formatted otherwise. Okay, yeah. I'm sure many of you have at least passing familiarity with my channel. I have a video about True Allegiance. You can learn more about it there. But it's not a good book. It's very bad, in fact. And the thing about it is that it only got published because Ben Shapiro kind of blew up in the right-wing commentary space. Otherwise, there is a 0% chance this book would ever be published by anyone ever, because it is bad. And I should end the poll. It's 67%, less than 100 votes. Wow, you people don't like voting at all. But there we go. And I will send this document over to Hoots so she can give it a read. Wait, where did I save it?
I'm back.
Okay, good.
Sorry for forcing chat to vote twice. You know, I'm just trying to encourage democracy.
Oh yeah, that is the name of the game here, this channel. This is the Democracy Channel. There, I sent you
the Democracy Channel.
Gonna get sponsored by NPR now. I sent you the file, so you should be able to see it there. When you're ready, let me know, and I'll bring it on screen for everyone to see. Actually, let's bring the...
All right, it's open. I am ready.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, feel free to start reading. And remember, if you stop, you fail the challenge.
Great. The SWAT team didn't expect it the first time she brought them cookies. Nobody brings the SWAT team cookies. But Soledad Ramirez knew the value of good press, and she baked mean chocolate chip cookies. No oatmeal raisin here, she said, good-naturedly handing out the meltingly hot treats to men wearing full military gear and carrying M4s set to burst. Don't worry, they aren't poisoned. At first, they doubted her, so she took one herself and tried it. Then one of the boys, and most of them were boys Soledad knew, reached out and grabbed a cookie in his gloved hand, flipped up his fiberglass riot gear face shield, and took a bite. He said, spilling crumbs down his chin. The crumbs were still there when his commanding officer stormed up, screaming, asking what the hell he thought he was doing. Try one before you knock it, Soledad said to him. The papers loved that one. The Los Angeles Times, as much as they hated her, still ran the page one headline, Melt Ramirez melts hearts with cookies. But they didn't leave, and even though every night she sent a plate of cookies to the boys and every night they cleaned it, they were still out there at the corner of her property, gun sights trained on her home, on her workers. One of her workers told her they didn't even have the safeties on. So it was no surprise when she got up this morning and her cattle were missing. They'd been warning about it for weeks, telling her they'd start by confiscating her property if she didn't cease and desist watering them. She hadn't abided by their orders, and they had taken the next step. They'd stolen hundreds of head of cattle. Fuck, I fucked it up.
You tripped over
I
the
was doing
words.
so good.
You were doing very well, but I guess the wordsmith of Ben Shapiro is a little complicated to read, huh?
Ooh. There were a couple of points where I almost tripped up. There was one point where I almost asked what, but I was just like, just keep going, Amanda. Just keep going. It's going to be fine. You're going to make it.
It was a good effort.
Nobody brings the SWAT team cookies.
Yeah, that's just good writing, isn't it?
It's great writing. Oh, Ben Shapiro.
For someone who is wondering, this is the very first Soledad chapter. If you're reading along at home, and I pray you did not purchase this book, but
I just want to highlight the last two lines that I didn't get to. All that mattered was the smelt. That damn fish. What is he talking about?
So the smelt is the reason Soledad's ranch is being, I guess, swarmed by the government. There's her watering her cattle is causing this endangered smelt to be threatened and possibly face extinction. And the government is, I guess, sending in the goons to crack some heads for this smelt. And she just wants to water her cattle, you know? And that's how she ends up becoming a terrorist. She has to become one to protect her right to water cattle.
Did he base this story beat on anything? Because while I imagine that the EPA would want to protect an endangered species of fish, they also probably wouldn't be so your cattle have to all not have anything to drink anymore. I just feel like there'd be another solution here.
Yeah, it might be more cost effective to have water delivered to this woman instead of having some troops encircle her property for weeks. I don't know.
Yeah,
seems kind of wasteful.
So I'm assuming she has her own well, but can't the city give her city water, or can't Nestle send some bottled water for her cattle? What's going on? This is such a weird story beat.
It's very much one of those fears and talking points you would see on the right. Not so much these days, but I guess a little bit in certain circles. But this idea that whenever the EPA stepped in to protect any sort of environmental concern, whether it be an endangered species or a plant or something, this would impact the local communities who don't care about whatever because it's affecting their livelihood, and putting in this case a fish over this woman's ranching. It's not really based in fact, as best I can tell. It's just sort of a paranoid fear. I'll tell you one funny thing about Soledad, though, is that when you're reading the story, in the first chapter where you meet her, she talks about how she was given this farm by her father, and she wanted to build it up and honor that legacy. About 100 pages later, she starts talking about how she never wanted this farm, but it was her husband's farm, and she married into that family, and now she's taking care of it. So I'm not sure Ben has really thought through this plot line, is what I'm trying to get at.
The sloppiest writer, again, just published a first draft, never went back through, never even really outlined his draft before writing it.
No, he just assumed it was great. And his publisher didn't care. They just is the spelling good? Then okay, we don't care.
They were his fans don't read. They'll just buy this book to say that they did.
Or more likely, his company will buy a lot of copies of this book and then foist it upon their employees.
Hand it out to people. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me today.
It was absolutely lovely having you here. Once again, to people who are wondering, what is this lovely voice that is joining Jose? That is Hoots from the Little Hoot channel. Let's pull that up here. That'll be our closing image here.
Awesome.
Go subscribe.
I had so much fun.
It was wonderful having you. You're up to 12,000 subscribers now. That's what.
Oh, yeah.
Showing up on this stream did its work.
Amazing. That means I hit 10K, I think around the 10th or something. So in like a 2-week period, I got to 12.
Wow.
Dope.
That's really good. Those are some good numbers.
How fun.
Chat, you're all doing good work
Well,
here.
thank you so much.
Yeah, it was lovely having you here. Maybe in the future we can do a collab or another stream at some point.
For sure. I feel like we need to do like a collab about that sitcom that we just watched.
If I can get a hold of the other 7 episodes.
That'd be so good.
Okay.
Like how not to write a sitcom.
I feel like in some ways that's where my channel's always been going to. An intersection between conservatives and sitcoms. Here we go. But I won't make that video without you now.
Yeah, like perfect. Yeah, we have to do it. And then it's an opportunity to present something like very educational. Like, again, this is what an act break is. This is what a second act complication is. This is what the midpoint is. Like, this is how you actually write a script. And this is what your finished product looks like if you don't follow any kind of structure, which is bad.
You know, they say the greats break the rules, but they also forget that the untalented people also break the rules. So breaking the rules is not a virtue.
I feel like you have to have like a very good understanding of the rules to effectively break them, you know?
Yeah. Otherwise you just look like an idiot.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to be the stream for today. I want to thank everyone for coming out and going on this journey with us. It was an experience. And so I'll be signing off here as well. Once again, thanks to Little Hoot, or Hoots, of the Little Hoot channel. That all makes sense. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Bye.